We got everyone, right?
Yep.
Oh, we got the whole group.
We got everyone. Great. I like when
It's a
everyone's
party.
here. There's 6 of you, and the likelihood of a total party kill is a lot smaller when there's 6.
What are you talking about?
Someone's
Gee,
gonna run.
every time somebody was here, we usually have a Tony party kill.
I
G's
don't
got to work
believe you,
extra
Gene.
hard for a total party kill.
All right, I'll do a small recap, and we're settled up. Last week, the company Sohorned and Thistle Hold after rescuing Master Emilio. Well, maybe at least being there when he freed himself, and they eventually took a rest and recovery. Master Emilio went to his quarters at the Ordo Tower and eventually had a discussion with Marleme, who didn't seem too happy that the master is alive, or perhaps maybe that the rest of the company survived Davokar and taken the Copper Crown back to the ruins of the Ordo Magica expedition. Bo ran into Lord Mindol, who he met a long time ago coming out of the mountains, and Lord Mindol is starting his own business of treasure hunting or something. Who knows what Lord Mindol? And Lord Mindol, told Bo about a contact and maybe some work if you want to do some work for him in the future. Lena and Dugoy were called to the legate, and Dugoy barged into Aurora Argana's office, and the noblewoman gave the spy a duty from his queen, wishing that the mayor suffer a little bit longer and perhaps has to call for royal assistance involving the matter with the winter wife. Lero worked at the missionary for the week, and then, talked to Father Sarvallo and re-met his son, Aluin, and he eventually went to the Church of Prios to try to pray and reflect, and he was recognized in some fashion, and he was escorted from the church when they recognized whom he is, or maybe more appropriately what he is. The company then decided of their options. Did they want to investigate the Winter Wife? Did they want to take on the Blood Robes of Blackmoor that have a writ of death on Bo and Master Emilio, or do they want to take up Lord Mindol's offer, his contact? And they decided to talk to Lord Mindol's contact. So they met this woman at the tavern called the Fern, and she offers them pretty much anything for their help. But before much can be said, the bells of Thistle Hold start to ring, and the company join a growing crowd at the north gate. Outside, in the open space between Thistle Hold and Davokar, waited 2 witches riding enormous colossi, and everyone in the company accompanies Captain Marvello to see what the witches want, because Master Emilio is used as an interpreter, as the only one who understands the barbarian language. The witches first ask if the well has spoken, and when they didn't get the appropriate reply, or everyone didn't really understand what the heck they were saying, they asked that they wished to enter Thistle Hold as there was great evil within. At this point, Marvello said they couldn't enter. He had to talk to the mayor and get the mayor's permission, and this was very irregular, so the whole company returned to Thistle Hold and shut the gates with Captain Marvello, who sent one of the soldiers running to Nightholm to get the mayor's opinion. At that time, the well did speak, and this massive sound echoed through Thistle Hold, putting some to their knees, and they start bleeding from their ears and ruptured eardrums, and a huge cacophony and dust and some sort of explosion happened in the center of Thistle Hold, and the company rushed to see what that was. As they rushed to the site of the disaster, they started to fight these terribly malformed men and women in the choking dust and destruction, and they made their way through the streets to a giant sinkhole that had formed up within Thistle Hold proper. And that's where we ended it, as they're just entering the street and they see the sinkhole within Thistle Hold. I'm going to put it on the map, actually. Southern map. Anyone have any questions or comments? No? So you're roughly here.
No.
That's also where the Fern Tavern was, roughly, where you met the woman.
Used to be.
Used to be. It's a fairly sizable sinkhole. You are kind of on the outskirts of this little side street that you came rushing down, and you're just at the outskirts of the destruction, and you hear Captain Marvello yelling out, "To the rim, to the rim! Prepare to defend the city!" And there's some hesitation in some guards, maybe they're younger guards, and you hear them kind of whispering to themselves, "Honestly, do you think this will help? If they return those, well, whatever those creatures are." And another one says, "Never mind what they are. I say, keep building and kill all that show up." But did you see what they did? They dragged people down. They killed him first. They just took them. And Captain Marvello is kind of yelling out, take positions around the rim of this giant sinkhole to try to defend Thistle Hold proper. So, Learme, you're standing there probably on the edge. There's dust everywhere. The company just kind of exits this small street. They just see the destructions. Buildings are falling into the sinkhole, and walls are collapsed, and roofs. You see people dragging themselves out and crawling amid the dust. You see dead, malformed things and things with horns where they're not supposed to, and dead Thistle Hold citizens, and the guard, running amok, trying to take a position, some of them dragging. And you're kind of standing there when a trio of Templars stride past. They're wearing bright armor, and they're marred by recent battle, and there's dust lines in the crevices where they sweat. And two of them keep walking, and a third one comes up next to you. And he looks at you, Learme, and he says, "Was that you who brought the light of Prios to the darkness and the dust?"
Yes, sir. Yes, it was.
Oh. He kind of looks at you and says, "What is your name then, brother?"
I am Lero.
Lero, as in Learme.
Yes.
He kind of looks at you and nods, and he's looking out at the thing. He's obviously a Templar, and he goes, yes, I've heard of your Learme. When is it last you prayed?"
Well, Lero prays daily.
Maybe ask when's the last time you've been to temple or church.
The last time I went to the temple, I was informed I wasn't welcome within Prios's halls. So praying within the temple has been a challenge, but I do my best to honor Prios daily.
Yeah, he looks at you and kind of spits on the ground, and he shakes his head. He says, "Well, Learme, not all of Prios' chosen are so dim. I would have you at my side. Will you fight with us? We go to the east, so we have the sun at our back and shining over our shoulders. Prios' light as we battle whatever comes up from the rift. I would have you with us, and my brothers. I am Leoin, my brother Henlon, and Venel." And you can see Venel's kind of a little bit wounded as they're going to about the 3 o'clock. And he looks at you and says, "Will you join us, Learme, chosen of Prios?"
It would be an honor to serve.
Right? He kind of offers you a hand and, pat you on the back. "All right, then, let's go to the east where the sun is at our back." And he marches over kind of the east rim, like at 3 o'clock, give or take. Bo, you're probably close to, you and Learme at the front, and watching this, and Lyrame's to your right, and he goes off with the Templars, and all of a sudden to your left, Lord Mindol is standing there. He's got his rapier in one hand and his dagger in the other, and he looks at you and has this big sigh. He's bloody and beaten and, maybe a little wobbly because it is Lord Mindol, and he sticks his dagger in his belt, and he pulls out a silver flask and takes a big swig and offers it to you. Sometimes being noble is a chore, eh, Captain Bo?
It is. What might this be?
He looks at it, he goes, "Spirit, Bo, this is spirit." He takes another swig. He he offers it to you. You want some?
I'll take a big swig myself.
He takes it over and expertly twists the top back on with one hand and sticks it in his back pocket, pulls out his dagger, and he looks at you and go, "To the darkness then, Captain Bo. If I survive the dark lows on our barrel tour, I'm sure I want some come now. We've money to make, aye?" And he kind of looks back and he starts walking back and he looks at you and go, "Don't dally, friend. At least I steal all the glory."
Don't worry, you won't.
He starts walking to the other side, at the 9 o'clock position, and takes up position. Right.
Kind of there.
Bo and Lyrame kind of go over here. Lyrame kind of goes over here with the Templars, and Lord Mindol is trying to, push Guardsman in position, which is odd for him, but he seems slightly different than you're used to, and he goes to the 9 o'clock position on the other side. Do you stand with Lyrame and follow Lyrame, or you go stand with Lord Mindol?
I don't really like to split up the party. So I'd rather not do that.
Sure. You're all in the same area, but I understand, even if Lord Mindol is, deviously dangerous with rapier and his dagger. So you join Lyrame at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. Dagoy and Lena, you're standing there as people are trying to take a position, and there's some men and women who are climbing rooftops and partially fallen walls that kind of ring the destruction, and they're kind of finding positions of advantage, or at least Lena would understand they're finding positions of advantage. And some are young and some are old, but all of them seem like they're archers through and through. And then along the edges of where some of the people who are injured have crawled to die, or there's others that are pulled from the debris, in a lee of the building in the shadows, you see the woman you met at the Fern Tavern looking out at the sinkhole, watching, and she's kind of crailing one arm protectively, but it looks like she's trying to stay out of sight. As Lyrame and Bo kind of go take up position at 3 o'clock with these Templars, what do Dagoy and Lena do?
She's cradling an arm.
Yeah, she's just kind of standing in the shadows. She has her hood up, but you can obviously recognize her. She doesn't really see you. She looks a little bit battered, but she's tucked in maybe the corner of a wall. Whenever Marvello kind of looks that way, or one of the other guardsmen, she tucks in a little bit, and then she looks back out with this kind of concerned look. But it looks like one of her arms is injured.
And nothing's coming out of the hole right now, right?
Just kind of taking her position, probably yell at everyone to get around the rim, expecting an attack.
I think Dagoy will follow her example and just kind of fade into the shadows behind her.
Okay. You want to sneak up and stand behind the woman that you met at the Fern?
Yeah, not too close. I just want to be close enough just to observe her, because it's kind of weird.
Sure. Roll discreet, I guess. I think that would be best.
Tripping over everything.
Right. Maybe you're watching her too closely, or you're not watching where your feet are. Maybe you trip over one of the boulders or fallen wall, or maybe it's a body, and you know, almost fall on your hand, make a bunch of noise, and she immediately kind of snaps her head back and, you know, puts her good arm into her, inside her cloak and realizes, you know, who it is. And then she releases and, you know, she has both her hands up. Lena, as the Goy is kind of sneaking around this woman who you all met at the Fern, what does Lena do?
Lena will try to shoot, but not kill the person. I will climb to the roof.
Climb to the roof, you're going to get a higher vantage point.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Goy kind of tries to sneak around the woman or get behind her, and obviously it makes way too much noise, and Lena starts to climb up to a higher vantage point. It's, you know, roughly about 20, 30 feet or 10 meters up, you know, to a kind of broken rooftop, where there's a couple other, like as Lena climbs up, she can scan out along the rooftops, and there's probably a few other citizens from Thistle Hold who know their way around the bow, who are taking up position. Maybe there are 4 or 5 of them, and some of them are pretty young, but she kind of climbed up there. And the Goy, you sneak or try to sneak around this woman, obviously don't look, and you startle her a little bit, and she looks back at you and says, "How many of you have survived?"
All so far. Are you all right? Look a little injured there.
Yeah, she has this kind of glazed look over her house, and she goes, "Are you all still going to help me with what I need?" I don't think this is work. I don't think it is. Maybe it is. She's like kind of like talking to herself a little bit, the Goy, like, you know, a little bit, maybe.
No. Well, why don't you rest easy for now? I'll stay here for a bit. Make sure you're okay. And Gene, just a quick question.
Mhm.
Anne doesn't see the same map we see.
She doesn't. What does she see?
Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess she loaded up better.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it was working.
it's really just a map of the whole, really, at the moment, or, you know, of the city. The woman looks at you and says, I can't stay here. Defend the city, and if you survive, meet me at the purple door." Agreed.
Sorry. What was that again? Sorry.
She said, I cannot stay here. Defend Thistle Hold. She's, you know, kind of starts to scuttle away a little bit, and says over, meet me at the
grab
purple
her sleeve.
Meet me at the
I'll grab
purple
her
door.
sleeve.
Okay. You grab her sleeve.
Yeah.
You
Like,
grab her.
lady, don't go anywhere. The purple, what was it, dragon?
Purple door, which
The purple door
is like a bar tavern.
I think it's unsafe. There are colossi at the gates. There's a hole in the ground. Things are flying everywhere. If you stay here, I can protect you better.
She kind of looks at you and like her eyes flare, and she looks around and there's like bodies everywhere and this big giant hole, and she kind of looks at you and goes, "This is safer than somewhere else?"
Indeed. Because I can see you.
All right.
Therefore, I can protect you.
Make a persuasion roll at -4.
Gene and your crazy ask for skill rolls.
I don't know. You might make it. Look at that.
See?
The one thing I'm good at, I couldn't get a roll on, and the one thing I'm bad at, I get a roll on.
Right. She kind of looks at you and, you know, sighs a little bit and like cradles her arms. She goes, "Okay, I will stay near you, but you tell me when I need to run."
Oh yes, I think you'll know precisely when to run.
Okay. Lena climbs up to the top. Master Emilio and Laris, you are probably near the back of the group as Bo and Lear may go to 3 o'clock. The Goy, you're kind of tucked in around 6 o'clock or so, but in the building edges. And Lena kind of climbs up on that edge at 6 o'clock, and Master Emilio and Laris are at that kind of entrance, and they see the sinkhole and all this commotion and dust is everywhere. Big Basher comes striding through past into the area. He's oddly wearing this kind of patchwork armor. Laris, like it's armor that the bellows worker would make, not like a master armorer would make, but Big Basher is wearing this patchwork of armor well beneath his skill and this huge kind of hammer, and he starts striding into the square. But then as you're watching him, Master Emilio and Laris, you see two Ordo masters, Master Eufrinda and Master Cullinan Furia, who's got red hair. They seem to be inspecting one of the misformed men or battle warriors, and they're kind of whispering and looking at it and poking at it a little bit. And Big Basher is like leaning over them until Master Eufrinda kind of looks over her shoulder and waves them on, and Big Basher just harumphs and, starts walking and setting up position at roughly about 3 o'clock. What does Master Emilio do?
Master Emilio will try to find a safe spot behind near Lirome,
Okay.
or behind Lirome.
All right.
Welcome to the front lines.
Welcome to the front lines. You walk, maybe around the edge towards the 3 o'clock position, looking over at Laris. As you move, you can see the two Ordo masters kind of inspecting the body. They're roughly at, 6 o'clock position on the other side. You go kind of around the edge, really, of the broken walls of Thistle Hold, behind Lear May at about 3 o'clock. Laris, what do you do as you enter the destruction? You might be muted if you're off muted, Laris.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Laramie.
No, I
Thought
said
you
that. Sorry.
Okay, so what am I doing?
Yeah, as you see all this unfold.
Okay, so I look around. Do I see the chick who tried to hire us interacting with
I think so. I mean, I think you see all this unfold. You might not see the Goy trips and almost falls, so I'm almost positive you see the Goy do that. And then maybe that clues into Laris that woman is standing there, and you see the Goy probably grab her, and then she stays with him. You see Lena climb up to the top of the building. You see Lear, May, and Bo go to the 3 o'clock position, and then Master Emilio kind of tuck in behind them. You probably see Big Basher enter, and the Masters of the Order looking. Yeah.
But the Masters of the Ordo don't either ask for my assistance or take note of me at all. I'm gonna, assume that they're in the company of Big Basher, so they should be okay. And then I'm gonna go after Lear May, because I realize now that Lear May seems to be good at healing, and sometimes he still needs somebody to get him back on his feet. So I'm gonna head off in that direction.
Okay. So you're.
I figure. I'm not an archer. I can't possibly help the archer. But if she's on a rooftop, she's probably safer than most people. With Diego, with Goy,
Mm-hmm.
he seems to be able to, keep himself in one piece. So, I'll basically indicate to him I'm, heading over here with the others.
Okay. And you, Bo, and May kind of are at 3 o'clock with Master Emilio behind you. Lena is up on a rooftop or up the edge of a wall that goes up about 10 meters or 30 feet. And DeGoy is like, underneath her, maybe in the lee of that wall with the woman that you met in the Fern. And, Captain Marvello is yelling at everyone to get in position, and there's all this noise. And then Master Emilio, you probably know Master Furia's voice, and suddenly you just hear him yelling, "Quiet! Quiet!" And a pin drops. Everything goes quiet. You could see his wild hair from across the way, because he's really at the 9 o'clock position while you're at 3 o'clock. And Master Furia kind of stands up away from the body as Master Eufrinda is looking at it, and he yells, "Quiet!" And then all of a sudden, one of the everyone's wrong. Everybody's rolling dice. One of the guards screams out, "They're coming! They're coming!" And another guard kind of screams, and you look down, and all of a sudden you see all this movement coming up the sinkhole. One of the guards is pulled into the sinkhole itself, and you just see him go falling and screaming down into the darkness way below, and all these rise up out of the sinkhole. So what I'm going to do is put some of you in initiative. Let me get the map ready for it. Does anyone have questions for me?
No questions, but I just explaining what the dice rolling was. You mentioned one of the Templars was hurt, so there maybe.
Oh, right.
Trying to go and hands him, and
so you're gonna heal the Templar Vernell. He's got a big gash around the side. He kind of watches you do it. And he kind of touches it and goes, "Thanks, brother. I would have attended to it eventually, but all is good." I'm gonna put you on the map here for a second.
This east side is looking very well defended.
What?
The 3 o'clock position is looking incredibly well defended compared to the rest of the sides.
You all stuck together. I assume Ferris is by you, right?
Yeah,
there?
he would have been basically right there.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, to be honest, he probably would have been in that little gap.
Yeah, okay.
Like, he'll recognize that men guarding his flanks is cool.
Yeah, I think you would have time to set up wherever, Look at all those dice.
Yep. Lots
All right.
and lots of dice.
So, as you take up position and one of the Order Masters yells, "Quiet," this man with this graying kind of flaming hair, tall, thin, both Master Emilio and Laris would know who he was immediately. They start crawling out of this sinkhole, and you can kind of see this mound at the very bottom in the center. If you were looking, here, if you're looking down in the sinkhole, as light shines down there, but the edges are all black, and you just see them start crawling out like ants to overwhelm the edges. Captain Marvello starts screaming orders. Some of the guards run from the sinkhole. Not many, but some do. some lose their nerve, and we will start. Laris, as you see them and the tumult of their attack starts, what does Laris do?
Okay. First of all, knowing that some of the team is far away, I start shouting, "Same as before, folks. Go for the soft spots, take out the knees," and thus activate Beast Lore
Okay.
for cultural beings. And then I will, the people close by, I'll be like, "That guy on the edge, let's start with him and work our way in." And I'll give some other pointers so that I can use the leader power.
Okay. So Laris, you start yelling out instructions and providing leadership and points from behind Ferris. Ferris kind of flames up in front of you and sword out.
New
starts
general
aflame.
fights leads from behind the troops.
Right. I gotta put. I don't see that he's on the. There he is. For some reason, he didn't make it on. Okay.
Because you did initiatives before he was on the map, maybe?
Yeah, I thought I selected him and did it, but Bo, you're standing next to one of the brother Templars. Lyra May is like maybe 2 over from you. You're shoulder to shoulder with a Templar who, yells to Prios and raises his sword. What does Bo do as they start climbing out?
So first thing, I guess, is will Master Emilio be in melee, do you think?
He is not in melee at the moment.
No, I'm asking him directly. Will he?
No,
Oh.
of course not. Of course
Okay.
not. Why
Okay.
would it be
Yeah.
melee?
I'm just asking you because
He's gonna
you need
try.
less-
He's gonna try not to be in melee. It's usually involuntary. Oh, look at that.
Okay. So, Bo, you cast Blessed Shield.
He tried.
He tried. He
tried
failed.
to.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of funny when it says Bo stays in darkness, but I get it. Maybe the anxiety of fighting or battle coming, these things coming out of the hole that don't look quite human, but obviously I still have parts of them that are human. Interrupts Bo. Does he do anything else?
No, I would not.
Okay. Learme, as they climb up, your brother Templars, almost are shoulder to shoulder with you. They just kind of look at you with this bright smile at Prios. One of them is wearing a helmet and flips it down. The other ones don't have anything on their head. And the one you met, just raises his sword, and they almost attack in unison while you're with them. What does Learme do?
This is a amazing opportunity for Lero. He gets to stand alongside the Knights of Prios and beat back the darkness that invades the realm of men. He is very, very happy as he steps into the fray. I'm assuming that one that I've targeted and has like 3 people surrounding it, including me. Is that enough of a gang up for advantage?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
Well, the problem is it goes both ways, Learme. You're also got 3 people around you. So if you want to play that way, sure, but realize that they're gonna have advantage on the 3 people around you at the same time.
That's a good point I hadn't really thought of, and I am going to just rely on
A regular.
Laris's bonus damage.
Roger.
What the
It's
frick is
this.
that damage?
Yep. Maybe the light of Prios isn't on you. Ooh, look at that. 3, 1, 1. Fantastic. What does...
Wow, 3 on 2d12. That's obnoxious.
Right.
Yeah.
And 2 1s. I mean, it's a 1d4, but still. That's about as low as
Yeah,
you can get.
the ones aren't as bad as, again, getting a 3 on 2d12. Like,
What-
you're expecting at least a 5, maybe 7.
Lear, as you're fighting with the Templars, maybe you're a little jittery. It's a kind of a flail hit for him. What happens, and does he do anything else?
I mean, I stepped forward and I swung. Maybe I'm just not used to being in a formation. I'm a bit too used to being
By
on
yourself.
my own, trying to fighting like a Beyblade.
Right, you got you got a Templar on either side. Maybe, Lear May, this is where you've always wanted to be, fighting against the blackness and darkness of Davokar in a line of Templars. Their armor is shining next to you. You could probably just hear them murmuring prayers of Prios as they're fighting. They're not singing. It's just that, regular voice, stanzas of prayers of Prios, and the three of them, that prayer just kind of bounces, like they're linked in a stanza. One says the first line, the second one says the second line, the third one says the third line, and it just kind of rolls through them, and you're in this line of Templars that you had never expected to be, and it's just kind of a flail hit, Laris, what does Ferris do as he's standing in front of you, flaming?
He was told to go for the knees, so he's going to try to knee the guy that I leadership marked.
Okay.
This Ferris is a very obedient boy. He's a good boy. So let's see. We've got doesn't ignore armor. We've decided this isn't advantage, correct?
Yes.
We decided that we don't want to die.
You've decided you don't want that. I recently gave Ferris master level men at arms. He gets to ignore the armor ignoring ability if he rolls well.
Very nice. Set him prone.
Okay. And then, because he was told go for the soft spots, he's not making the guy prone. He's going to stab him in the gut because Ferris was told go for the knees and then stab him in the soft spots. So he's going to follow up with a gut shot.
That's a lot of dice.
He's got a sword that is massive, so it's 2d10, pick the best of the two. So that's why there's so many dice. Like he just
Ferris just hits him. He starts burning. He's trying to crawl up and strike back at Ferris, and then he just loses his grips as he's on fire, and you just see him tumble into the sinkhole away from Ferris. The Templar next to him just yells out, as if Ferris himself is a lighter Prios, and they attack along the edge. I'm gonna just roll one of them though, just to see what happens.
Just out of interest, what was the 2d4 from? I get.
Yeah, I didn't remember that the leader is automatically calculated. So.
Oh right.
So yeah.
I was thinking like one of them is
added more d4s than I should have.
Lena, you're high up on that building. The goy is underneath you. You have pretty much line of sight. There's certain ones that are harder for you to hit, obviously. These ones over here are pretty much in line of sight. The ones further are in line of sight. You got kind of line of sight to these ones. The only ones you might not be able to hit are, the ones that are right in front of people, like these two right here, because they're, so close to you. But everyone else, you pretty much have line of sight on. What would Lena do as arrows starts flying from the rooftops, and you see the archers kind of trying to move around and skip over roofs to get better vantage points? What would Lena do?
Lena will attack.
Now, the one you have targeted right now is a good guy.
Whoops.
There you go.
Yeah, I got the wrong one. Lena will target with the armor piercing.
Yeah, I think you could
Art.
attack that one because he's so much bigger. The ones with those horns are the huge kind of clan guardians. They got horns and stuff sticking out of their neck and flesh where they're not supposed to. Some may have extra arms, or probably 8 feet or 3 meters tall. So I think you should be able to see that one as you're looking down past over the top of the pan that man's helmeted head. $613. See, Lear May, Lena rolled a 9 on a 1d10 and a 4 on a 1d4. What happens, Lena, as you take out this giant beast guardian? You gonna move back?
The armor piercing. I did ignore armor.
Ah, okay. Degoy, the woman from the Fern, looks at you and, starts tugging your arms, and she looks up and she says, "Should I run now?"
No, I don't trust you yet.
What do you mean? Look.
Plus, you're our money bags. I can't see you fall before we get paid.
Okay. Master Emilio, you're standing behind Lear May and the Templars and Laris and his flaming servant. What does Master Emilio do?
It's his turn.
Uh-huh.
So he's gonna bend will on the nearest creature. This guy over here in the back.
Oh, the one that's right there? Sure.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be there, but I guess now you see him, so. He maybe squeaked down over the side. All right. Now, as you bend this bestial man, does Master Emilio do anything else?
Emilio is going to move up. He's just going to move up a little bit, squeak up.
Okay. Squeaking behind Lear May.
Yeah, squeaking
Seems
behind
like a
squeak
safe
between
place.
the big guys, the big boys.
Sure. I'm gonna roll 1d6. Lear May, you're 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And Ferris is 1 or 2. Nope, he attacks the Templar. Right. Let me roll their attacks. And then we'll get to Degoy. What would you plan to do, Degoy? Lear May, roll resist. Okay. And 1 to 2 is Lear May, 5 to 6 is Degoy. I mean, Bo. Oh. The Goy, as the battle commences, as these things start to rise up out of the rift, you see one is overwhelmed to your, north. You see another man drop, and you see them kind of close in, and you see a couple fall. What does the Goy do as the woman is trying to tug at you and doesn't really feel like she should stay in this position for very long?
I almost kind of like want to knock her out, but that'd be kind of wrong. So instead, I tell her to just stay here so I can keep an eye on you, and then I'll go help out this one guy here in front of me.
Okay. So you let go of her, Dagoy, and it gives you this look like, sure, okay, I'll stay right here.
I know, right? Like she's going to take off.
Don't forget about the purple door.
Oh, goodness. She better not die.
Okay. So you move up and go shoulder to shoulder to this man in mail who is glad to see you because, he's all by himself and they already pulled one of the other men. Does the Goy do anything else as he strikes out?
No, I look at him like, it looks like she could use a little help.
He kind of looks around and realizes you're all in pretty bad trouble. He looks to the north and he sees a couple free bestial men, and most everyone except for at 3 o'clock is, near overrun, and outnumbered. Master Emilio, you're standing on stone, whereas the others are kind of standing on the edge of the rim, and you just feel this thrum, deep kind of sound coming up from the rift and the sinkhole. Can you roll me a 1d12?
I do got a question, Gene, now that I'm at the edge. How deep is the hole? Can we see down into it?
You can see, there's a shaft of light that shows down, and down way at the bottom, you see the debris that's made this little kind of mound. You can see you could climb down there, but it's probably, 20 meters, 30 meters, give or take. You can see bodies down there and the remains of buildings and heaped up, that sort of thing in this kind of big cavern. But it's not, you can see the bottom. It's not dreadfully far. It's not like it just drops off into nothing. If you fell, that your chances of survival would be pretty low. 11 o'clock. So, Master Emilio, as you're standing there in the back and everyone's battling and you're taking a position, you see this huge thing crawl out at the 11 o'clock position. It's this monstrous colossi, something that's unlike what you had just witnessed in the outside of Davokar when you saw the witches. This colossi is huge. It is misshapen in some form, has these kind of giant horns upon it, and it just comes out at the 11 o'clock position. This is kind of what it looks like. Not quite that big, but you get a sense of what it looks like. The Templar on the one side sees it, and he just lays out this yell and begins to move in that direction as this giant colossi, this malformed thing with huge horns, comes crawling out. It swipes at one of the men on the edge and just throws him off the edge, and you just hear him go screaming and catapulting over the edge of the sinkhole. Laris, you're standing behind Ferris. What does Laris do?
Okay, well, these hexes are each 10 meters, right?
Yeah, actually, there's 3, so let me make sure I configured it right. I may have. Sometimes I forget. They're 3 meter. They're like 6 feet. So, what, 2 meters?
About, yeah.
So roughly, I think I fixed it. Roughly,
Bit
Two-
less, but yeah.
yeah, roughly 6 feet. So it's about 20 meters.
But I have to go around to get to that guy.
Yeah, like it's like a double movement. You know,
Oh,
if you figure,
crappity crap.
right?
Well, I feel like we need to free up some of this 3 o'clock group to go putts with other things. So I'm going to leadership tag the guy, big-horned clan guardian jackknife
Mhm.
near Ferris. And then I'm going to say, Ferris, finish the job and meet me north. And I'm going to start
Okay.
moving in the direction of the big colossi, mother effer.
All right. So you leadership tag and then start moving with one of the Templars towards this huge thing that just rises out. You're probably running with him at the same time. A couple others probably fall in behind you, realize the danger, and move with you. Bo, you are fighting on the south side of Laris with 2 more Templars that are whispering Prios prayers, and Learmay is in between them. What does Bo do?
Yeah, muted. Joe.
Retribution on the creature in front of him.
Okay.
So this guy.
Does he...
I don't know if I leadership the right thing, so I'm going to try it again because it doesn't. Like, I don't see.
I see this one that's leadership tagged.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's a little icon that has an eye on it.
I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the leadership tag, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, I probably think.
Um,
I just didn't notice it there at first.
Right. All right, Bo, you retribution the one, well, the only one to your north as these others kind of close in on you. Does Bo do anything else?
No.
Learmay, you hear the prayers of Prios all around you from the Templars. They're on your right and on your left. You see this huge thing rise up out of the hole, and what does Learmay do?
That does need to be dealt with, but I am very much in the middle of the fray.
Right.
So I'm going to try and free up a bit more of our flank.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So you attack this one, and at least the Templars next to you. This is Han Lone. He yells out as you drop this bestial guardian into the rift, and you just slice through him, and he falls backwards. And he just, the way he yells out is he just raises his voice on whatever stanza he's in. The prayer Prios, you just hear his voice raise like it's coming to that conclusion of the stanza, and you just see him smiling. Does Learmay do anything else?
No, I can't move anywhere.
Okay.
But I've freed Ferris and what was it, Ferrilo?
Yeah.
Up to go help. So.
Laris, what would you have Ferris do?
Well, he said he was told finish things and then move north. So, seeing that things are finished, he's going to move north. 3,
All right.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I really want to get that close with Ferris? He was told to do it, so he's going to move there.
All right. the giant thing. Blair's, roll me a 1d4. I'm just deciding if it goes east or west. One. All right. It moves right there. I think that's all it can do, right? Since it's Colossus.
Colossus, yeah, can't move and attack.
All right.
If it
You just see it lumber towards Ferris and the man and the rest of you as you go, and the battle kind of rages all around you. Learme is attacked by the one in front of him. And Bo is attacked by the one to just above him that he marked with. And they both miss. Lena, as you're above, you see Degoy kind of enter the fray. You see some of Thistle Hold fall, and you see these closing in, really, on Degoy and the men. What does Lena do?
Lena will attack the one on the left side of the goy with the
Okay.
armor piercing arrow.
Okay. That's a lot of damage, Lena. From way up on top of the building. What does Degoy see when you do that? And this huge guardian just kind of drops at his feet.
Lena keeps focusing on attacking the head of the enemy.
Right. Master Emilio, you hear commotion behind you, and people are kind of running and down the street, and then they fan out, and they are yelling, "They're coming from the basements! They're coming from the cellars! Right here!" And you look down the street down to your east, and you see 3 kind of bestial things running towards the sinkhole from like outside of a door. What does Master Emilio do?
He's gonna have order the command the beast warrior to kind of intercept him, the one he controls.
Okay. So he's going to have that one kind of intercept.
Here.
All right.
Yeah.
Like
And
stand between them.
Yep, stand between him and the champion.
Okay. And he probably would attack, I would think. I'll just roll that for you, see what happens. He just knocks one of them prone. Master Emilio, you see him kind of jump in front so that those 2 can't get past him. And he swipes at one and knocks one of them prone. Does Master Emilio and himself, what does he do?
He's gonna have to cast Bend Will one more time.
Okay. Now, does he have to roll for...
To maintain, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll do 1 to maintain and 1 to as an initial casting. Okay, so he continues to control. I'll get the new guy. Okay, so now 2.
All right. So you have one step in front, and as those are running down, you tuck in behind Lear May and take control of one of the other ones. Degoy, you're standing fighting next to the mailed man from Thistle Hold. What does Degoy do?
Sorry, Gene. I'm having side conversations here.
That's okay.
Oh, what'd you say?
What does Degoy do as he's standing there fighting with the Thistle Hold?
Oh, I'm gonna continue to fight this, whatever this is, beast crazy thing in front of me. And I guess I turn and look and see that she's left.
Yeah, you kind of turn around. You maybe catch the tail of her, running back down the street that you guys came down. Like, she probably, as she yells out, "The purple door!" You look back and you just see her back running, along the edge.
There goes our payday.
As anyone
I know,
would do.
right? Okay. Well, it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll just attack this guy. As I yell at her, "You better not die!"
Should have bought manacles, or in her case, womanacles.
Woo!
Don't forget, you get a D4 for beast lore.
He rolled a 10
I
on
do?
a 1D. He rolled a 10 on a 1D10, a 4 on a 1D4, and a 3. He couldn't have gotten much
Yeah,
better,
I'm not saying he needed it, but
I thought I was too far away for that.
that's true. I guess that's a Gene decision to make.
There is a range, I guess.
Ranges don't exist in Symbaroum.
Right, I mean,
Ranges,
but,
whatever the GM feels is appropriate.
You're only 60 feet maybe from him, give or take. Now you're even further. 90 feet. 26 meters, give or take. Okay. Laris, as you run with the Templar towards this giant thing, Ferris kind of makes it a little bit further, and it just kind of steps up. It towers over everything. It's thrashing its head with these huge horns and these giant arms. What does Laris do?
Okay, so Laris is going to leader tag this freaking moron. Okay, there we go. Leader tag it. He's going to say something to the effect of, "Try to get it to its hindquarters. It might have a hard time seeing you." And he's going to then move himself.
Okay.
And I'd like to go here, but it won't let me, so I'll
Yeah,
guess I'll go there instead.
Okay. I could add a
And
padding.
we're done. Well, because I'm gonna try to move around this dude to get him
Without
flanking
being
position.
Yeah, without being
without getting
okay.
gored along the way.
Sure. You got to be at least 2 away because it's got longer. It's huge. But yeah, you could just pretend that you're circumnavigating it. With staying way out of its way. Bo, you're still fighting with Lear May and the Templars. You can see Master Emilio kind of behind you. What does Bo do?
He's gonna try to attack the guy that has retribution.
Okay. Do you want to stun him or do you want to take your second attack?
He has no armor.
The one in front of you?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He has like rags.
For sure, I'll take a second attack.
Okay. You just kind of kick him over the edge.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Boot him right in front of the forehead. Just snap him back as you pull your fencing sword out. Does Bo do anything else?
Turns his attention to this guy.
Okay. Lirame, you can still hear the prayers of Prios around you. You kind of look and it's relatively free. You just have that one in front of you. Master Emilio, there's, 4 behind him. But perhaps you know that Master Emilio has that somewhat under control. What does Lirame do?
Trying to join in on the prayers, I go to lay into the one in front of me.
Okay.
Pretty confident that I'm doing alright damage.
Well, that's better. You rolled a 12 on a 2d12. Keep the highest.
Yeah.
So both you and Bo kick it over the edge. You see him tumbling down. You look up, you see this huge thing across the way, and you probably see Degoy over here. You have no idea where Lena is. Master Emilio is tucked in right behind you, and the Templars, from you on the front of your chest, and they start moving north, really, to meet their brother, who's also moving towards this huge thing. What does Lirame do after he kicks that one down into the sinkhole?
I can see that the south is struggling.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So I am going to... how many hexes is it that we move?
It's about... it's 30... It's about... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You said they're about, you move
6.
10 meters, I think. According to the book, if you're going to use movement, it suggests you use 10 meters
1,
per
2,
movement.
3, 4, 5, 6. You could make it here. You could make it here. You can make it about this line right through here. Yeah. Roughly. 10 meters for you or 30 feet is...
And then... yeah, so I'll move to the other side of this
Okay.
guard. I'm not trying to engage the pass through the clan beast, so I might only be able to get to there.
Okay. So you roll around Bo, his, left shoulder as he's still engaged, and try to go south as the other Templars go north. What does Ferris do?
Oh. Ferris steps into the body of the big colossi-like creature and tries to get so that he's tucked under a leg so the thing has a really hard time to see him, and then he rams his sword up into the thing's intestines and starts cutting away.
Of note, at the moment, it can't make defense tests. If it's got the level 2 colossal trait.
Okay. It still starts to burn.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Ferris just rams its sword in there, and it just rattles around in the stone and huge kind of trunks of trees and vines and quartz, really. And it starts to be on fire, but you don't see anything really. You don't really see damage. Just said a little lick of flame starts just as Ferris pulls out its sword. Does Ferris do anything else?
Nope. All he can do.
Okay. The huge thing is going to attack as Ferris pulls it. He just raises one leg and tries to just stamp down on Ferris. Ooh. He misses Ferris and he puts down his leg and then raises the other one and tries to stomp on the man next to him. No, too many.
So confused by NPC attacks. Like a 6 and a 7 miss.
Yep. You just see him kind of stomp down on that man next to Ferris and crumples him down just a little bit, but he still maintains his feet. And then the Templars are trying to get into position around them. And they just kind of close in, as much as possible. Some are trying to follow you around they realize they're going to have to get around the side of it to get it. And one attacks Bo that he's still engaged with. And they all seem to just be missing. And these ones just close. Lear May, I guess you have an attack as they close.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I get one against everything that comes in with the long property, don't I?
As long as they don't have a long weapon themselves, yes.
Right.
That's another dead one.
At least you went south.
Mm-hmm.
Lena, you're still above Degoy. The battle seems to be swinging in the favor of Thistle Hold, except for in the far north, where that huge thing is still trying to get surrounded. You see a few Thistle Hold drop. What does Lena do as she looks down, sees the Goy?
Lena will attack one of the enemies near the guy with the precision arrow.
Okay. Degoy just sees these arrows fall. And take out one of the beastmen that are next to him. He's suddenly kind of clear all around him. Master Emilio, you're suddenly all alone, except for the friends you've made. What does Master Emilio do?
He's going to have the controlled creatures attack each other.
Okay.
And he's going to go for another third one.
I think this one will just try to stand up first.
Yes, he needs to stand. Oh, he's on the ground. Good.
Right. So he, I think this one will just attack while he's standing up. So I will roll that before you
The real treasure is the friends we made along the way.
Right.
In
You just-
Amelia's case, it is quite literally made.
Yes, I know.
You just see him attack Master Emilio and take out as it's trying to stand. The other one attacks the one next to him, and you're just kind of standing there, kind of in this free space, relatively protected behind Bo. What? I guess you're going to try to take care of another one.
I will try to. Try to get the last one.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
now it's 3.
do you have to roll to continue controlling the other two for the next round?
Yeah, yes, I do. Okay, and then one more. Okay, so the one's I got 2, and one is up.
One is up. Okay.
One is out. So
One is out. Yeah. Does Master Emilio stay in his present position?
yeah, Emilio is going to he's gonna move.
Okay.
He will move. Gonna move all the
Fun.
way.
Okay. Move on the other side of Learme. Relatively
Yeah,
safe.
basically.
That's a relatively safe space. All right. Degoy, you are standing there, and Lena drops a few around you. The Thistle Hold man just kind of, makes a sigh of relief as there's only one left next to him. What does Degoy do?
Degoy takes a moment to look down into the hole to see if anything else is coming out.
You look down in the hole and you see like movement, a bunch of movement, but it looks like it's moving across the bottom, but not up. You see this figure rise to the dome of the debris. Has formed this kind of little mountain, or little at the very bottom of the pit of all the buildings and stuff. Have formed this little kind of mountain, and this figure rises up there, and you see it unfurl these huge kind of wings, and it looks up at you and just makes this terrible screeching off timber scream, and just furls its wings. And then you see the figure kind of jump off. Looks like it's a regular sized figure like you or Master Emilio or Learme. Looks like a person figure, but it has these wings, and it jumps off the top of that mound and then just glides out of view along, laterally, but nothing else is coming up.
Can Ferris or Laris, does he know? Can he tell what it is? If he
No, I
sees
don't think he's not around the edge. Laris is too far, so he can't really see. The Goy's right at the edge. I figure he looks down into there and sees what happens to see if anything else is coming up, and he just sees all this movement underneath, and then this one lone figure come up to the top of that little mound and screech at him and unfurl these wings, and then kind of jump off and glide away.
I'm half tempted to go after it.
It's a fair drop, but you can climb if you want to go.
I mean, the surface right now looks pretty good, and there's a bunch of stuff moving down there, going laterally underneath us.
Yeah, when I say a bunch of stuff, think like a herd of cattle. That's the mass amount you see. It's that kind of mass of movement you see in the shadowy dark. You think they're man-shaped figures, probably same sort of size of things you're fighting, but numerous.
That's a little disconcerting. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
You're gonna go down?
Yep, I'm gonna go down.
No, he wants to roll a new character. He's tired of this character.
The problem is I
going out
have
with a bang.
impulsive, so
Yeah.
anything
Oh,
I
wow,
say.
that's good. Well, he's playing his character.
So to
So-
start to climb down, the Goy, just make me a quick roll.
All right. By one.
You gotta let that stand.
I might have to because I don't have any XP.
All right. I didn't expect anyone would climb down the sinkhole. Let me see how far you fall.
You should expect the unexpected.
Players do the darndest things.
As Dagoy's at the edge, he like looks down and he like looks to Lena and he just gives her the deuces
Thumbs up.
sign. And then he falls over the side.
Roll 2d12 for see how far you fall
Oh my gosh.
as you
2d12.
as you slip off a stone. You're climbing down and maybe the wall gives way too far. 7 meters, which is 21 feet. What is it? 1d6 per 10 feet? I think.
I actually don't know.
That's the 5e roll, right?
right.
That's the,
Yeah, it is. It's similar to that.
Well, we'll get to you, Dagoy. You're climbing down. You probably look up at Lena. You go over the edge. You get probably you get a third of the way down, really, and then you just lose your hands and footing and scrabble in the air for a while and go falling down into it, and you fall 7 meters or 21 feet, and we'll look up and see what damage it is here in a second. What does the Goy do is he loses his hands and feet.
Well, he curses the rubble and should have brought a freaking rope.
Right, his impulsive nature. I mean, I imagine Master Emilio. I don't know if Lirame would see, but Master Emilio might see the Goy crawl over the edge. He probably doesn't see him fall, and no one really sees him fall. But I think Master Emilio and Lena would see him crawl over, obviously, because he looks back at Lena and then crawls over and starts going down into the sinkhole and loses his balance. Laris, as everyone kind of tries to fall upon this huge creature, what does Laris do?
Okay, well, slightly annoyed that I can't tag a new guy with the leader tag, because that means something didn't die, so I feel like I failed as a leader. I'm going to do a double move and go wide around this guy and end up here, hoping that this thing is big enough and has enough shit to look at that he doesn't notice me doing that. And that's my turn.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Something so huge, do you really flank it? I guess you would if you attacked it. But you roll around to the other side. Bo, you're singing to yourself.
Am I?
Yeah. Maybe you picked up some of the prayers of Prios from the Templars?
I hope so.
Oh.
Can't hurt, right?
Well, you're alive at the moment, at the edge of this rift. You may see Laris climb down. You're close enough at the edge. If you actually had looked in that direction, you probably even saw him fall into the bottom. What does Bo do as Lirame kind of rounds around to one side?
He's got to switch targets, so it's a combat action to switch to
Okay.
a creature in front of me.
All right.
And then just prepare to defend. That's it.
All right. Lirame, you suddenly have Master Emilio at your side, and a Thistle Hold warrior to the other on your right shoulder. You can look around the edge and see these bestial kind of things throw a Thistle Hold guardian over the edge. What does Lirame do?
I am going to use 2 movement actions to get down south of them without entering melee.
Okay.
Running, because I think that's quite a distance. I'm aware that
All right. Learmay goes running to take up position, maybe to prevent them from going into the city itself. And Ferris is next to one of the brother Templars and some other fighting men from Thistle Hold as Laris goes around the edge. What does Ferris do?
Ferris
Attack.
is gonna keep jabbing his sword in this guy's rib cage and
Okay.
intestines, and hoping he eventually gets purchase. Advantage or no?
I think so. If you hit, you would have advantage. It probably sees you. It's just so big. I never looked up the rules for advantage on something like this, but I'd give it to you.
So he's got that going. Let's see if he can get anywhere with this. Not if. Oh, I guess even if he does that.
Okay. Now roll your burning damage.
Did I not manage to actually penetrate armor? I mean, I know it's 9, but I feel like I've rolled lots of dice, and I thought some were actually good.
Yeah, you didn't roll bad. You rolled a 7, a 1, a 4, and a 2.
Yeah, but that should
it's
have been.
robust damage reduction as well.
Oh, maybe it's doing the damage reduction in a different.
Okay. So he is rattling against it, kind of turns it on fire. It's starting to light up. You know, you can smell burning mud and dirt and wood, and the thing just lets out this huge kind of rumble and dips its head with these huge horns and goes raking across that line of Ferris and the Templar and the infantryman and the other fighting man from Thistle Hold. You're so lucky. It's a good roll, Ferris. He knocks over one that goes screaming in, and when he hits this one, it just blows him back, kind of prone on the ground. And as he hits the Templar, the Templar kind of shudders a little bit, but stays on his feet. But you can see it kind of takes off one of its shoulder armor and snaps him back a little bit, but he holds firm, whereas the other one is just kind of blown backwards. He completely misses Ferris. Ferris either ducks or, he doesn't bring his horns down quick enough, and Ferris misses the whole thing. These other ones, one attacks Bo, that's to his south. And Bo continues to stand firm and gets missed. The others at the top, which Master Emilio is kind of bound up with his bind will, he attacks one on his own and just kind of drops it, and then turns and moves to loom over Master Emilio and raise both of its arms with these long kind of claws, Master Emilio, as it dispatches that one. Lena, you're high up. The Goy has disappeared over the edge. What does Lena do?
Then I will attack.
Okay.
Yes.
Lena puts that one shot, one kill into good effect.
Right. She takes out this other one, and the mailed man kind of just looks at her and gives her a salute, and then looks down the hall and looks back at Lena and just shakes his head, like the boy didn't make it. He can't see him. Lena, do you do anything else as you're up high on the building?
Lena will move. Lena will move down.
Okay, you're gonna climb down this round. That'll probably take you until next round. So you kind of climb down using your move action because you're high up on that. As you put down the other ones, Master Emilio, you see this looming beast guardian turn and chase you kind of south. It's standing right over the top of you. May is to the south of you waiting, and Bo is to the north. What does Master Emilio do?
No, he's gonna cast Bedwell on this guy.
Okay. Oh,
Oh no,
that's terrible.
not the result I wanted.
No. Maybe he got nervous.
Yeah,
He thought he
Got
had it in
nervous.
the bag, and
well, came too close.
right. He tries to cast Bend Will. Does he do anything else?
He needs to maintain for the other guy, right?
Right.
Oh, and loses the other guy too. This is not
Those are
good.
two terrible rolls. Both 20s. Master Emilio, you just see him start to run towards you on those double 20s. What is Master Emilio gonna do?
This is not so good. There's not much he could do. He's gonna have to defend himself. Oh, he's got he's got this spear, right? He's got a spear, so he's got a free attack because of his spear. I don't think that's gonna do anything. Oh, it's one more, and he's got one more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, one of them hit. The other one hit.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
That's good.
Does he's just stuck there then? He doesn't do anything else?
No, if he runs, he's gonna get hit, right? He's gonna.
You don't know. It's a risk, Master Emilio.
No, he's gonna get killed.
So he's gonna defend himself.
Yeah, he's gonna have to defend himself, and hopefully, someone's gonna come help.
Okay. The Goy. I gotta look up the fall damage in Symbaroum.
Yeah, we posted it.
Did you?
So it's posted in the chat, but it's also posted in the Foundry. Basically, it says so it's number of meters fallen is the damage, and then quick test to break the fall. And if I make the quick test, then it's subtract 3 from the fall.
It's
Subtract
terrible.
3 meters.
So you fell 21 meters.
And I still get an armor.
Right. Well, you may not die.
Yeah, I might not die. So what was the distance?
Is it
21 meters. 21 meters.
Oh, 21. I thought it was like 7.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
7
I
meters.
thought
21
7
feet.
meters and 21 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you meant
Okay.
feet, right? Okay.
All right, so it's 7. I'll do the quick test to see if I can break my fall.
Okay.
Not on your head.
Right, not on my head.
Nope.
Okay, so 7
Yes, on his head.
damage, armor. What is my armor? It's a D8.
Yeah. Two.
So 5 damage.
5 damage. All right. So the way you slip off and fall, somehow roll over and protect yourself with your quick movement as you're in midair and hit the bottom of the sinkhole. You look up and you see just a large group of these bestial men and women. You're in this cavern that has a north and a south and an east exit, and you see them moving out as you fall and hit the bottom. What do you do as you
So taking the fall in stride, I'm just kind of like roll, and I kind of like roll into the darkness because I want to follow these guys. I want to see where they're going.
Okay.
This is
You want to not be seen by them, like you were just a dead body that fell?
yeah, for right now.
All right. I would have you roll discreet at +2. I think they're expecting things to be falling on top from above, and so if you're going to fall and stay on the ground and roll into the shadows like you're a dead man, I'd let that fly. So you fall and hit, take some damage, and you kind of roll into the rubble. You know, you're prone on your belly or on your side and just watching as you see essentially what looks like ill-dressed, ill-formed barbarians moving out through this tunnel. And you see that winged figure kind of glide into that tunnel and set down on her feet and lead them out through that tunnel as you kind of find cover, really, in the deepness.
So I know I can't see exactly where they're going, but given the lay of this town, city, whatever you want to call it, can I tell if they're moving out or deeper into the city?
You are put you on a map here. Let me make the map because you're going to see it anyways. Let me make the map viewable. So there's going to be a map that pops up that just says caves beneath Thistle Hold.
Yeah, I see it.
Right. They move out to the north. So you're in that rubble, like at the top. You see these kind of waterway streams a little bit like, you know, moving through this huge kind of cavern. You rolled off to the rubble kind of to the east. You see the huge group moving to the north into this tunnel. They don't pay you much heed. There's bodies all around you and broken walls, and maybe you've tucked yourself underneath one. You oddly see the sign, the copper sign of the Fern, lying close by, and you see this mass of disheveled looking people follow that winged figure out of the tunnel to the north.
Okay. So I'll stay here for this, seconds, but
Okay.
eventually I'm gonna follow them
All right.
to see where they're going.
All right, Degoy. You're all by yourself.
That's fine. I'm a queen spy.
Queen spy. I'm gonna
Not
take
a
you
very
off.
good spy.
I'm gonna take you off the other map for the
That's
moment. Everyone may think you're dead, but you're in the tunnel. I'll keep you in initiative after Master Emilio, but just keep you on the other map. Larish, you're kind of on the other side of this huge thing. You notice that Ferris really is having trouble. Most everyone is having trouble just hitting it. What does Laris do?
I bonk him on the butt. I'm not going to bother rolling as a player because I cannot do anything to this thing at all.
You're just like grabbing its attention.
Realistically, to flank, I have to be seen as a threat, even though I'm not a threat at all. So I'm just trying to maintain the illusion of being a threat.
You're gonna rattle against it, Roger. And you just kind of hit it against its side. It's this dull thwack. It's huge. But I think you could be able to hit it easily just to make it known. So you're making yourself known there, Laris, to it. You know that it's got things on both sides of it.
It might not know that I can't hurt it.
Does Laris do anything else?
No.
Okay. Bo, you're standing alone on the edge. You have lost the Goy. Master Emilio looks hard pressed to your south.
And you can add Holy Shield to him.
Okay. You quickly cast Holy Shield on both you and Master Emilio. Do you do anything else?
No. Are these creatures considered abomination?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
No, they're blight stricken,
Yeah.
not abominations.
Lear May, these two close on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I let you use your thing first.
Thwack. Thwack. And then on my turn,
And if you put him prone, you'd take advantage since he's down.
yeah.
All right. Does Lear May do anything else as he's freed up space? You look around. You don't really see anything. Across from you, you see this huge battle with this huge giant thing. You see Master Emilio to your right, hard pressed, and Bo is still fighting with another man. Does Lear May do anything else?
I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna leave the. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good for numbers now, so it's time to go. Start traveling back. Run over here. And get next to Emilio. Which is probably 2 movement actions again.
It's Can you get there this turn?
Oh, probably not if it's 2 movement actions, because I did attack, so what is over here? Oh, no, there.
Probably to about right there.
Yeah.
That's 6. I think that's 6. So you move towards Master Emilio to come to his aid. Ferris is still in combat, and I assume he attacks.
Yeah, so the last time I attacked, I did a fair chunk over the armor and just want to... So I know there's powers like Spirit Form Master level, which lets you ignore damage from physical weapons unless that weapon's mystical. I just want to point out, in case this creature has something like Master Spirit Form, that Ferris has a mystical sword. His sword has a mystic property.
If it
so-
has Master Colossal, it will ignore non-magic stuff.
Okay, that's why I did no damage last turn, because he does... There isn't a tag you can use to say, hey, I have magic weapon, but he does have a magic weapon.
Okay.
That's because, like, I looked at the numbers and I did more damage than the armor could even if the guy had maxed out robust, that still there's just nothing to click.
I did the math as well, but I forgot about that. You would have done 1 damage.
13.
Well, 1 damage if the robust wasn't treated as an armor,
yeah.
which it often
4.
is.
He would have done 4 on one of his attacks because he did. Because I know what his protection is. So let me just drop that.
I'm looking at the number. I'm like, wow. For me not to have done anything, that would have been, and that made me think. I'm like, oh, Spirit Form, that sort of thing can,
I'll just keep track of it.
There
and
is
then-
a tag for mystical in weapon qualities, by the way.
In weapon qualities, yes, but in my swing, and I almost certain I have it clicked in the, I'll just double check the gear. Because I clicked the quality in of which specific thing he has. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I have to actually click generic mystical as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's.
Yeah.
do that.
Okay. So maybe this will make
let's
it
see
register.
how it works. I took off some points from the last one.
Okay. So he started with a good number.
15,
And-
16 damage. Yeah, that hasn't done it.
12.
Yeah, that's so weird.
That's 16 damage though total, right?
It is.
Okay. No, I just subtract what he should have took from his arm. I know what his arm is. So
It's weird to me that
he's
weird
doing-
that
I didn't think
didn't work
anything of
either.
it, but
I didn't until I looked at the actual numbers he rolled. I'm like, that is a lot of damage for it to just. And then I thought, oh, spirit form. Maybe he's got something like that.
he does have master of
Colossal.
colossal, but
Yeah.
those should have hit if it was mystical. The Templars are hitting him and not really doing anything. You obviously hit him and you don't have a mystical weapon, so it doesn't work either. So Ferris strikes it. He also rolls his flaming damage.
Right.
So 1d4 are subtract that too. And the giant uncolossi, attacks. 1 to 2. Well, he attacks twice. So 1 to 2 is Laris, 3 to 4 is Ferris, and 5 to 6 is the Templar. Ferris and Ferris. Terrible. He Ferris lights him on fire again, and he starts the only thing that's really damaging him. The Uncolossi recognizes it and attacks Ferris with both of its hooves and misses, and then he attacks him once more. He doesn't hit really though often.
Ferris likes to dance. Although I do think it's hilarious because whatever you did there, you just rolled twice.
Yeah.
So he's actually missed 3 times. He's like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, I think I clicked the wrong button. But
That's fine,
it
it is
misses.
what it is.
Completely misses. The Templars attack, and Lena, you climb down from the roof, and you make the bottom onto the street level. You look, far to your right, and you see Lear May and Bo and Master Emilio, and you look up and you see the huge figure fighting at the top. You have no idea where Degoy is. What does Lena do?
Lena will move a little closer to Master Emilio and attack the enemy above him.
You can kind of move here. Problem is you don't really have line of sight, Lena, through them. Now that you're on the ground, there's no real way you can see past them. Let's see what it looks like.
Okay, I'll attack.
You could attack that one easy.
Oh, Jean, before she makes an attack, she does have trick arrow, which allows her to curve her arrow to the
Oh.
target.
All right. Well, then she can attack that one.
I almost forgot about that.
I didn't know she had trick arrow.
Yeah, it was. She just recently got it, and I just thought about it.
And
Gonna
trick arrow,
stone skip it off of Emilio's glasses.
right?
Yeah, I mean they are big targets, so
Thick enough to count as armor, right?
Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
to barely see them. It takes a full turn to do that, or? Oh, that's precise. Precise. That.
Emilio's pretty short, so
Right.
is the
I'd let
guardian
it go.
taller than him?
I see. I didn't realize she had trick arrow, but she just picked that up.
I think
but I'd let him-
towers over Emilio.
Yeah, I think she could curve it around Lear May over the top of Master Emilio's head. They've dedicated their lives to mastering the bow. All right. The other thing, trick arrow, you can't use with other things at the same time. Can you?
Okay.
she's not using any other abilities other than the passive ones.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if it like stacked with some of the other ones.
No, she
Nothing
lost
that's
out.
capital A active, but things that are passive, yes, it's
Right.
a stack.
Okay, so you weave this arrow around Lear May, just kind of curves around Lear May, and probably, Master Emilio just feels the fletching over the top of his bald head, and it just hits the one next to him, and just kind of lodges, and just on the side, but not enough really to even move it that much, Lena. And so you've moved and then fired that trick arrow. I believe that's all for Lena.
Yeah.
All right. Master Emilio, the one right in front of you attacks you, raises his big hands and brings him down on top of you.
I can't wait to get a hold of Lena's bow to augment it.
Oh, I have he picked up a new skill.
Oh, and you also have,
Illusory correction, so he's gonna use illusory correction.
did it take into account the Blessed Shield?
Ignores armor. The attack is a heavy weapon that ignores armor.
Okay. And
Yeah, so
you're going to use illusionary correction?
so I could I'm gonna have to make a resolute check. If it works, then he can redo his
Okay.
failed defense.
Okay.
No,
Ooh.
no. All right, so it doesn't work.
You tried, Master Emilio.
Hey, if you're lucky, they'll stop hitting you now that you're dead.
What happens is just doesn't get out of his, he doesn't say it fast enough. How does it fail, Master Emilio?
I guess as he's panicking, he wasn't quick enough. He fumbles over some of the incantation, and hammer just comes crashing down on him.
Okay. And Lear May, you're just standing there as you watch the arrow kind of bend around you and hit it, and at the same time, this huge thing just, drops its arms on Master Emilio, and you see the little master's body just kind of crumple to the ground. This one stands up, pops kind of up, and then they close in. They both move and close in towards Bo. This way. In that direction, as Master Emilio kind of falls to the ground. Digoy, you see the tail end of this group kind of going in this north passage. Do you follow them?
I do.
Okay. You come to this kind of north passage. You tuck around that corner probably as they go through that north passage. You see them keep going north, really, and tuck in out of around the corner. You're probably just following them a little bit, and you see them keep moving north, the whole group of them, it's a lot. It's hard to tell how many. You don't know if they're 20 or 50 or, that sort of number. What would the Goy do?
I'll keep following them just to as long as I can to see where they're going and what they're doing.
Okay. So you're just going to keep following them up that northern passage.
Yep.
Okay. You come to, this area, and you see that you come to like that T intersection, and you probably look down and see a room to the left, and you kind of see these, openings down this right on the left-hand side as you go up. And you make it, if you pass those without investigating, you make it to this other room up above during this stage, and you come to this room that has a fairly large pool, this cavern, and you just see them kind of tromp through this room as you get to the edge of that cavern. Probably, you're right here, and you see this big pool, and you see the group keep moving north through this pool area. The cavern is kind of lit by torches and this like glowing phosphorescent kind of moss along the edge of the walls, and it's obviously been inhabited for a while. The pool is pretty big in the center, and you just see the main group kind of tuck into the north around that corner. Are you planning on still following them all the way?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll follow them as long as I can.
All right. We'll come back to you in that cavern as you're moving up, and the fight is still happening above you. Laris, you're on the other side, and of this giant thing. You kind of hear the Thistle Hold man to your south scream out as he's thrown over the edge. And you see one of the bestial kind of men are going to walk, start moving towards you. What does Laris do?
Well, this is probably bad for Laris on so many levels. One being, I've seen those guys crush people's armor, so my really nice new armor probably not going to be at all useful. Shit. Well, fuck it. Hope to God this doesn't get me killed. I'm going to move.
Oh.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me ask you a question, because I've never. If I were to move but still be adjacent to this guy, does he get to attack me?
No.
'Cause I've been with groups that have dealt with it in different ways.
It's more of a reposition. You can't
Right.
move all the way around the other side of it. If you're just changing hex, I kind of treat it like a 5-step move, like in 5e, but you are not going that far. The other thing can still reach you anyways, and so.
Yeah, then I'm going to move, because I'm going to move far enough away that guy can't actually reach me. Because as much as I would like to give advantage, I would also not like to get killed by the thing that gets to ignore the only real defense
Sure.
I have.
If you're moving around, then it's just going to take an attack of opportunity as you're moving, which is reasonable.
Life sucks.
Right. You go trying to circumnavigate it, and it just stomps on you. How many steps did you move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll a 1d8, and that's where it gets you. Oh, look at you.
He basically gets me as I'm literally leaving his
Right.
spot.
Probably just stomps on you as you are,
Right.
and puts you to the ground, like probably just misses you and clips your back You go falling forward and skittering along the ground, and take a fair amount of damage, but you luckily roll outside of its range. Blair, so it could have ended up worse. You could have been tromped right by it next to him. So you move, try to get around him, and just
shit on my armor. Wow.
Just clip him. What did you roll? I didn't look.
How does he make me roll my armor twice and take a less value somehow?
Yep.
What the F is that?
Colossal.
Yeah.
You just haven't seen it because he hasn't hit anyone but you.
Well, it's not a skill. Like I have physical and PDF copies of the APG and the core rulebook, and it's neither of those things. Okay, that's fine. By the way,
colossal.
Eris has master level men at arms, so if he makes his quick roll, that doesn't apply to him.
Oh, the double.
The double and take the worst result because he gets to ignore things that reduce his armor or ignore his armor with physical attacks if he rolls his quick correctly.
Yeah, we'll just have to watch the numbers and see.
Right. No, I'm pointing it out now because it's because once again Ferris is like, his defense much better than mine, but he still relies heavily on his armor, no pun intended.
Bo.
And I breathed a sigh of relief because I thought he would crack a rib, but I figured I might survive. And I survived, and luckily I survived far enough away from the other clown.
Yeah, you had a good roll.
You
You could have ended up right next to him, and that would have been bad. Bo, you probably feel Master Emilio go out because you probably feel the holy shield drop away. I think you would feel it and sense it, and you probably can see Master Emilio has gone to the ground through these combatants, and so Master Emilio is down. What does Bo do, even though he's stuck there?
Yeah, he's got to try to fight the guy in front of him.
Yeah.
Who has retribution on?
Ooh.
Oh.
Prone or extra attack?
Extra.
Okay.
I mean, it would be most beneficial if I could hit twice.
Oh.
But I get to roll again.
Huh.
Because he has retribution on.
Right. That's good, though. There you go.
Yes.
Right, Bo. So how does that happen, this huge hulking form next to you?
I get into my fencing stance and aim for the kidney. Although he probably doesn't know if this thing has a kidney.
He just knows about where it is. Well, it looks like a man. It's just deformed. Things have been added on. It has a, maybe a skewed rib cage, but it still kind of has the general form of a man.
The basic form of a man.
I think Bo would realize that they're malformed. They've been messed with. Their form has been messed with. They started at men at some point, but are no longer men. So maybe he does hit him in the kidney. Near there. Do you stay in your present position?
I would. Yeah.
Okay. The one south of you is going to attack.
Mm-hmm.
You think. Ooh. Oh, it's hard to hit, though, luckily.
I am.
And
thankfully.
These ones are going to attack that poor man. I'm just seeing if he holds up.
Does not bode well for him.
Oh, he's protected, though. He's holding up with you, Bo. He just, takes slight damage. You realize the man to your south, has a bit more guts and vigor to him, and he, gets hit twice and bounced around, but he looks pretty good. Lear May, you're to the south of Bo. There's really 3 left besides the huge one at the top. And what does Lear May do?
I'm going. I know what I want to do. And I know what I should do. Right. Going to use my movement action to go. I'm going to go around to the other side of Emilio.
Okay.
And see if Prios likes him enough.
There you
Yep.
go.
He's alive.
Master Emilio. Your eyes kind of flicker open and there's Lear May standing over you. You just see his mask and his eyes behind his mask. You probably have a taste of blood in your mouth, but you're alive on the ground and prone next to Lear May for the moment.
He gives us thanks. Thank you, Mr. Leo Man.
Give your thanks to Prios. He is
That
from him
too.
that you are saved.
Laris, you see the other thing, give chase, but obviously it has to use, all its movement to China. You look up and you realize it's looming over there, but it's taken time to round the beast itself, so it can't really attack you or Ferris as it ends up, next to you. What do you have Ferris do?
Well, I didn't give Ferris new instructions.
Okay.
But I didn't. Well, I didn't realize that guy was gonna.
Chase?
Well, no, not chase, but relative to the initiatives of the other guys, I just didn't think he'd end up there that soon. So Ferris is just gonna go keep poking this stupid thing's intestines. He's not gonna switch targets yet. Because
Yeah, for some reason they fell off. Sometimes they fall off initiative. I don't know how that does that.
I think at one point you'd removed most of the creatures of that type, and
Yeah, but
that's
even-
how it happens.
Even the
If you-
colossi fell off
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah. because I just looked to see
Okay,
where he was.
so-
But
No, the Colossal's after Ferris.
I know I just put him back on.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Okay, so
bad.
even though the leader tag is not on, Ferris knows that he's going to have to draw the attention of this stupid thing.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to go whack-a-mole on this stupid newcomer.
Okay.
So this guy gets a D4. He's not at advantage. He's gonna give it a shot.
Cool. So he hits that one and makes him burning.
Yep.
And I would have him roll for the uncolossized burning damage, so we don't forget. Since it's their turn next, really, his turn. And he takes 3. Okay. And I'm gonna put this one back in. Initiative. Better skip that one. And so the giant uncolossi attacks I think once at least on Ferris, which he seemingly can't hit anyways. Woo.
You attacked yourself.
I attacked myself. Damn it.
Even attacking yourself, you didn't do any damage.
No, but what happens is he's so big that selecting I must have just skipped over. I roll it again. Darn it. I was wondering why the dice came out right away.
I was wondering right too, because I'm like, if it didn't ask me to click the button for
Right.
resistance, I'm like, interesting choice.
Oh yeah, you keep rolling nice and low though.
I like to make things annoying to Eugene. It
Oh,
just
that's-
feels like the right thing to do.
I gotta like move him for a second just so I can unselect Ferris and move him back. He will
This
do
is
that.
why when you hit me last time with so much damage with those arrows, I was slightly shocked. I'm like, my defense is actually solid. Like,
Right.
I don't mind that you hit me, but you hit me a lot.
He tries to step on Ferris and he tries to step on the other Templar and just completely misses. And Lena, you're done this trick shot around Learmay and kind of hit Master Emilio's assailant before Master Emilio was put to ground. What does Lena do? You look over the edge. You have no idea where Degoy is. You just see the mound at the bottom. What does Lena do?
Can Lena attack the enemy above Master Emilio, or do I need to move?
Oh no, I think you can. The only one you can't hit is the one that's just south of Bo. I mean, you could trick shot, I guess, around and hit the one south of Bo. The other two are easily to be seen, right there.
Okay, Lena will hit that enemy with the arrow armor piercing head.
Okay.
You said she could see it, right?
Right here, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she? So she can do her 2 times attack is what she's
Right.
asking.
Yeah. The one
Okay.
only one she really can't see is the one that's right next to Bo. Like it's
Okay.
it's
Hold on,
covered.
wait. Is
Right.
rapid fire also an active? Oh, but never mind. Okay, so does she have to use trick arrow to get to this guy? Is that who she's trying
No.
to shoot?
No, she doesn't have to use trick arrow to get to that.
Okay, then that's.
He's in a
then
line
she
of
can
sight.
definitely Rapid
Yeah.
fire.
He's in a line of sight. The other one isn't really. Yeah, Lena, this one, maybe it's after that trick shot or so, you flick off those 2 hours and your aim maybe is a little distracted as Learmay revives Master Emilio, and perhaps Master Emilio sitting up, draws your eye a little bit, and those arrows kind of taper off and don't hit the beast as well as you would want. Do you stay in your present position of safety, or do you move?
Yeah, stay in the ship.
Okay. Master Emilio, Learmay revives you. You're laying on the ground there, mouthful of blood and a big tear down your left shoulder. What does Master Emilio do?
No, first he's gonna try to stand. It's a
Okay.
quick roll, right?
Right.
Okay, so he slips on his robes and falls again.
You can stand. It just takes your whole movement. It takes your whole action for this round.
No, he's gonna cast. He's
Okay.
gonna cast something.
So he tries to get up and he kind of slips back down to
Yeah.
his knees.
Yeah. So the guy, there's one ally in the middle. This one guy over here.
Yeah, that's the one in the middle is the ally.
Okay. Let's see what else is going on. I think that's fine over here. The colossi does it look hurt? Does it look like it's in damage at all?
Yeah, I mean, if you, as an Ordo magician with your lore master, you could probably look at it and see that a large pieces have fallen off of it. It probably has a big wound on its right side where you're kind of looking into it and you see a secondary body, like it's encased another form inside of it. You see that it is moving slower and that it is fairly damaged, but it's still dangerous.
Okay. Oh, he's at his threshold. I'm almost at my threshold. All right, he's gonna have to just do full action and just stand.
You are almost
Oh,
at your
yeah.
threshold.
Yeah, just full action and stand.
Okay. You decide to save yourself the darkness and stand up next to Learme this round, not wanting to perhaps reach your darkness as it starts. You can feel it inside you. Degoy, you start moving through that cavern, and there's only torches like that are lit up along the edge of this kind of lake as you go through there. And you hear, you get kind of into the middle as you're trying to follow that big group. You can hear them out front, and you hear this kind of scratching, echoing, slithering sounds on both sides of you. What does Degoy do? As
Okay,
he's
that's-
following?
Can I see the echoing, slithering sounds?
No, the
It's
cavern is pretty big.
pretty big.
You feel like it's like 45 degrees up, like above you a little bit on the walls somewhere, but you really can't see it. The walls are very scalloped, and it's you just have a bare little bit of light from probably low embedded torches along the shore of this kind of big pool, but you don't really see anything up there.
Can I see that flying leader guy? Can I see him?
No, you actually just hear them moving, and they've rounded this corner up.
Okay. Well, I will continue to follow them.
Okay. Roll a vigilant test. Cool. I just looked at your vigilance and I was like,
Yeah. The goalie's not a good spotter
that's
or a
terrible.
talker.
All right. You roll me a 1d8. Five. All right. You start moving northward to keep following them, and you then hear these forms drop to the ground from the wall. They look like
What the hell is that?
they look like these kind of slithering reptiles. They're probably 10 paces long as they drop from the ceiling, and they make this kind of odd clicking noise from their lower jaws, and they drop low to the ground. You have no idea what they really are, but as you're starting to follow them, they just kind of drop to the ground all around you, and you hear this kind of clicking that goes back and forth as they close in on you, as you're trying to continue to follow. I will show you kind of a picture of what they look like. They're hard to see, but they look like these long kind of lizard, think of a much taller,
Iguana?
much wider, much longer-legged alligator, but their head is different, like a giant monitor lizard that has this kind of dusky white, brownish scale.
In my best Japanese voice impression, it's Gazala.
Right. Let's see what your... Oh, and you failed at 11. I think one drops right down from the ground on next to you for your failed vigilant test, and it makes its ambush attack.
Yeah, RPG really is fed up with the guy. He wants a new character.
No, this is just
You-
how
you-
RPG
you must
plays
be really
all his
bored. You must be
characters.
really bored with that character.
Well, right, RPG. So
I trust the Goy's defenses and his sneaking. Right, that's all it is.
right, the guy you have snuck through and persisted, and we'll put you in initiative with these 5 Veron. See,
I think Gene knows what I was trying to do, which was get to the leader guy, and he was like, "No, Dagoy, you get ambushed."
well, they were always going to be there. I just didn't expect the Goy was going to go there all by themselves.
Well, that's a lot of dice.
Right. I think they just close on you, the Goy, this round.
All right.
I don't expect they're all going to attack because you'll be dead. I think they just close in on you. They're pretty big. Like I said, they're like 10 paces long. And, they just surround you with this ominous clicking sound. I think 2 of them will get to attack you as they close. Maybe the fall didn't kill you, but...
Don't play favorites.
Whew. At least you got armor. One of them just kind of bites you and like moves you around. You hear your boots kind of slosh in the ground, and it just kind of moves you back and forth, but can't really get it through your armor. And another one kind of tries to bite you around the waist and misses. The Goy, you realize you're in a bad state. What do you do?
Well, the only thing I can do, which is fight back.
Whee! So it starts bleeding. You stab it with
We're
your
gonna come down there and find a dead Dagoy with 5 dead things surrounding him.
fencing sword as they just kind of close in on you, Dagoy. They're surrounded you, and you're
Yeah.
in battle in this cavern with these 5 creatures that who knows if you're gonna make it out of.
We can make it out of it. Yeah.
Right. We will go back to the top frame so that I'm gonna just configure that so you can move on your own. That way you don't have to move if you want. I think it's Laris, right?
Very likely. I'm going to try a quick roll to see if I can stand.
Okay.
I don't expect this to be very worthwhile.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, hey.
You made it.
Okay, so now I'm going to point to this Jabbo and tell it, Ferris off with the head. And much as I would like to continue my leader on the big guy, I need this thing near me dead before it attacks me, so it's going to get leader tagged.
Okay, so you shift your leader tag to the other one.
Yeah.
And you stood up for your move action. So that would bring us to Bo. Bo, you see Master Emilio, rise next to Lirame. Aside from the giant colossi to the north, you are the only ones engaged in combat. The rest of the rim is kind of clear. What does Bo do?
All right, I gotta switch my retribution to this guy.
Okay. Where was it before? Oh, the one that you kicked over?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you switch your retribution and then just stay in place?
I probably would shift to
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I think that would be reasonable. So you...
just to kind of lend him a little bit of support there.
Okay. Lear May, you raise Master Emilio and are standing there next to your short Ordo companion. What does Lear May do next?
You said that the Colossus was showing a bit of wear and tear.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the helping mode and start dealing with these things.
Okay. Woo. A 1 even. Yeah, I think that's reasonable when you roll a 1 on your attack die. So you change position and attack this one and, in a flare, just drop it, maybe just cut it in half and it just kind of falls over on either side. Does Lear May do anything else?
Nope. Movement and attack. So
Okay.
EOT.
And Ferris.
Yes. Well, Ferris was told off with his head, so he's going to do a horizontal sweeping off with his head. Let's see, so let me make sure I've got the right guy clicked. And the right guy targeted. And then hopefully off with his head. So
Sure enough.
that's good, because had that guy turned on me with his ignore armor, and again, my only real defense is armor on my main guy, that could have been bad. So
Now, I would have you
the-
roll the Colossi.
burning damage,
Yeah,
right?
burning damage too. 3. Okay. Does Ferris do anything else?
He just turns to the colossi now. Actually, let me think. He's gonna start, because he was told to go underneath to attack the thing in the hindquarters, so he's gonna basically start moving. How far can he move if he stays adjacent to the creature? Can he move
1 or 2?
1 hex, 2 hexes?
Yeah,
okay,
2
so
is
he'll
fine.
move there. He's basically hoping to get underneath the thing's butt like he was more or less told to do.
Okay. The Colossi is going to make this sweep with its horns again as Ferris moves. You just see it duck its head and try to sweep along the line with its horns. Ooh, let me do one thing. And it just kind of sweeps its horns as Ferris is moving. He's got a good roll.
Aha! I'm the cock of the walk.
He's rolling 2 dice and he has yet to hit Ferris. And he's attacked him like, I don't know, a lot of times. And he has yet to
Yes,
roll
he
1
has.
dice above
Sometimes,
1 dice above
sometimes
16.
more than was necessary.
Yeah, 1 dice above 16. It's just crazy a number of times that he's attacked Ferris without.
So he has to roll over 16?
Yeah,
He needs a 13
right.
to hit.
But He hasn't rolled above a 13 this whole time.
No, he did roll once. Just Ferris's armor absorbed all of it. I think. Or no, that was you attacking yourself. That's right.
Right. He, as Ferris moves, the horns just go through all of the ones in front. You see him drop one of the Templar brothers to the ground, almost kind of drop him in half, and then you see him drop the other guard on either side as he swings his horns around, and they close in. The others kind of try to fill the gap around as he moves his horns through. On the south side,
This is why I'm confused, because it says 13 minus 1. He rolled a 2 and he hits, but the other guy.
Yeah, because that's him attacking. Normally, it's me defending.
Yeah,
If it's a PC,
that's
if
an
it's
NPC on
PC
NPC.
right? NPCs
Ah.
on NPCs, you do an active attack. Whereas if it's an NPC attacking a PC, you do a passive defense from the character's perspective. That's why the number system is weird at times.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll. See who he attacks. 1 to 2 is Bo. 3 to 4 is Lear May. Nope.
Oh,
So, Bo, you're standing there as one of them, the one between you and Lear May just attacks the Thistle Hold man to your south and just drops him to his knees. And then the other one attacks you as that man falls. Wha- And he just can't get through your armor, Bo, as he attacks you and completely misses. The Templars close the gap. I didn't forget anyone, did I? No. Lena, you're standing there to the south. You see Bo and Lear May are still engaged in battle. Master Emilio kind of makes his feet. What does Lena do?
Lena will attack the one below Bo.
Okay. I don't know who's more dangerous, Lear May or Lena, really.
Yeah, this fight is Selena. She's killing everything.
Right? Just I think Lena would drop more as Lear May is trying to run to them before Lear May can get there to do something. Lena, you just fill this one full of arrows. Probably one comes out as the front of its neck, and another one comes out from underneath its right armpit, and Bo just sees it kind of lean forward and tip over into the sinkhole in front of him. Lena, do you stay in your present position?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Lena's just standing there from the south, providing support. Master Emilio, you look up and see that there's only one really assailant between Bo and Lear May. And you see the giant colossi is the only other thing left up in the far north across the sinkhole. What does Master Emilio do?
So Master Emilio is gonna just steady himself, and with his spear, he's gonna charge at the last opponent.
Oh Lord, you remember that happened last time?
No, don't worry about that. He's more
Does he do it?
experienced.
when he's charging like that, this little Ordo master and his robes are going everywhere. And he's got this spear. Is it?
He's
Is
like,
it quiet?
"Rah!"
You might startle Lirame there. He might attack you with his long, just out of reflex. All right, Master Emilio, you make this running attack at the one last one.
he misses badly.
Roll again.
Yeah, you get the roll again because he's got
Retribution.
retribution.
Oh,
on it.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you have two
okay.
chances to miss. It could only get better, maybe.
Oh, that's a silly notion.
Well,
Oh, he hit.
Oh.
Good job.
My
Oh,
God,
Yeah, I
he
actually killed it.
He actually hit.
That is awesome.
Master Emilio, what does that look like? Bo and Lirame are standing there. The Thistle Hold man is on the ground, so they get this full view of Master Emilio running up, screaming with his spear.
With his blood-curdling war cry. He kind of charges forward with his spear. Somehow manages to kill the last beast.
Now, was it a war cry that he learned from a book, or
It
is
was,
he just
it was
made
one of the war cries. He kind of just made it up.
It seemed good. You now have blood on your hand, just like the taste of it in your mouth. You run up
I
and
think
kind of
that's the
dispatch.
second. I think that's the second thing he hit with the spear.
Yeah, you've done that once
Yeah, but-
before.
Yeah, last time you hit yourself, right?
Yeah, I think he hit himself.
Yeah. I'm gonna shift back to the caves with the Goy, and I have to activate it since I'm got it on this other screen. The Goy, you're in a bad place, really, and they attack these monstrous things as you're surrounded, as you've come into the deep. Let's see what happens.
That's bleed damage there.
Oh, okay. One hits you. The other one takes bleed damage. So it took 4, it took 3? Took 3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Not quite enough to kill it, the Goy. And all of them just kind of attack you. He's almost making it. Woo! One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the Goy, you're still alive. You're surrounded by these 5 lizard-like creatures. What does the Goy do?
So I'm gonna have to rely on my defense again, and I am gonna have to try a recovery.
Okay.
Of course. And it's a
Right.
move action to take a potion, right?
Yes.
All right, so I will try elixir,
Okay.
which is what again?
1d6 for the number of rounds and 1d6 per round.
So 2 rounds,
4. All right.
4 health.
And you get a temporary corruption for each round it's in effect.
So you would get 4 points this round and 1 temporary corruption,
Correct.
and then 4 points next round if he makes it past.
All right.
That depends. Like, some people I've known who just roll to see how much they get healed, and that's how much they get every round. I always roll personally if the GM allows. I roll a separate die.
Oh, you can
Each
do that.
round I get healed. I mean, I've always had GMs basically be like, whatever the player decides is fine as long as they stick with that decision.
4 is not bad.
No, it's not. But it's when you roll that one finally, and you will roll the one. It sucks even if it lasts for 6 rounds.
Right.
It's not doing that much.
So, Degois, you take stock. You're surrounded by these large lizards that are each snapping at you from every angle. You kind of hunker down by yourself in this cavern, well away from everyone else. It's just you and them, and you can just hear the battle echo around you. Their snapping jaws and your footfalls in the water. You're probably up to your ankles, really, in that little bit of a stream there as you're fighting them off. The light starts to dim because the torches are going out, and you kind of lose light up to the north. And we're go back to everyone else at the sinkhole. Laris, you're alive. You've got around the other side of your flaming servant. What would
I even
Laris
stood up last time.
Yeah, what would Laris do?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to do something that I've been meaning to do since almost the start, and I keep getting distracted. Well, I should say, ever since this thing clambered up, I've been meaning to do this. I keep getting distracted and keep forgetting. I'm going to roll the novice level beast lore power, which basically, if I succeed, you let me see how it's okay. The character has studied monsters and can make a cunning test. To recollect the monster's strengths and weaknesses, the game master describes the monster and its statistics to the player. So at this point, basically, we already know it's got a lot of armor. We already know it has the colossal feet and stuff. I'm looking more at toughness. How much toughness does it have? And I don't know if you want to indicate from its current position, but
it's roughly a little less than half, a little bit more than half down on its toughness at present. It's 2/3 down or so, roughly. It makes double attacks against a target.
Right.
When it stomps, it can make 2 attacks. Its horns can sweep, across a particular line, up to 3, targets, or across that line of targets. It's obviously very robust. And it has, just high degree of natural armor that a lot of things can't get through. It can only be hit really by mystical weapons. Some form of magic has to be involved to hit it because of its size, and it can't be harmed by ordinary weapons or projectiles. It can only be damaged by mystical weapons or powers, which is why the Templars and the other things that are hitting it aren't really doing anything to it. It also, if it hits you, can throw you, 1d6 meters away from its present position.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and re-leader the guy. I will give a brief synopsis of everything that you've told me to this group of people nearby. I will not say you need a mystic weapon to hit it, but I'll say if you have mystic weapons or mystic powers, those are going to be far more useful, because A, it's not a lie, and B, having people around to absorb hits means Ferris gets to fight it longer, and I'm hoping these guys don't die, but oh, actually that's right, I was going to come here. Okay. And that's my turn.
Yeah, the Templars, hear you and, immediately take their turn and do the
Add a
same
little
thing.
witch hammer to their love.
Do the same thing that Lyra May and Bo, or Lyra May does, and lights up Krios's witch hammer. Their prayers, even though their brother is dead at their feet, haven't really ceased. They're just much more terse, much more clipped. They're no longer smiling. Their face is flat, and they kind of light up Krios's hammer as you tell them that it can't be harmed by regular weapons. The other two are stuck.
A fair point for the Templars things. Witch Hammer is a free action to cast,
Ah. Okay.
and it lasts the entire scene, which is why Lero just does it first turn.
The other two, they stay positioned. Maybe they're hoping to just soak up damage, realizing that they're just fighting with ordinary weapons. As you yell this out, Laris, they don't turn and back away. They just buckle in and stay at the Templar side and against this thing. They surround it, realizing that although they may not hurt it and they could die here, at least they may.
The names will live on in
Right.
song.
The Templars may say their names in their prayers. Bo, you're in the south. Master Emilio comes running up and spears the last one, drops it to your side. The Thistle Hold warrior, scrabbles to a stand. What does Bo do now?
He directs his attention to the big beast and tosses his magic shield at it.
across the rim. How much does it deal for? Oh, it 4, 6. Yeah, it just bounces off of it.
So because Mystic, that won't have any impact on it.
Well, it's just that the shield itself only did 5 damage.
The thing has a lot of armor on top of the fact that it ignores most non.
Right. It still has armor. It still gets armor.
Right.
So the shield itself, yeah.
So what's the difference between a mystic weapon and a regular weapon? Does it get more armor against the regular weapon?
No.
It gets a big number of armor, period, and on top of that, if you're not a mystic weapon, it just says, well, it doesn't matter. Like, what you do doesn't matter to me.
You could harm it. It's just that throw didn't do it. So if you did a little bit better damage, it's possible. It's just that you just missed by a hair of doing any damage with the shield. You rolled fair damage, but you rolled a 2 on 1d4 and a 1 on 1d4, and it just wasn't enough to nick it. It just the shield kind of bounces off of it, does this long looping slow turn, and comes back to your hand, Bo. But it could damage it. It just didn't do it this turn. Just didn't do quite enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you do anything else with your movement action?
No, I think I'm in a good position
Okay.
to
I'm
continue.
far away. I'm great.
Well, and I have a direct line of sight too.
Right. Lear May, Bo slings out his shield and it hits it and just kind of makes a slow turn and comes back to Bo's hand. What does Lear May do?
I mean, we've just got to run.
Yeah, you
as
make
far
it.
as we can.
You make it about here. Yeah, that's about as far as you can make it with a double move. Not quite, in the melee, but you're getting as close as you can get. Lear May, as you go running around the side, probably just as Bo is throwing his shield. I just lost my. Ferris, what does Ferris do?
Okay, so Ferris is going to continue to try to get under its hindquarters as it was instructed to do, and then it's going to go stab him in the butt. Let's see. So he's active. We got a target. And editing that. Okay. Stab in the butt. And so
7,
even
8,
so
9, 10, 11.
the last time he hit him, he burnt the guy for 3 rounds. So even though he spent 2 rounds attacking the other guy, he still has this round of burning damage. So, and
Yep.
it's now reapplied, but so he'll get also the burning damage.
It did take off the right damage there. Two is the right damage.
Did it?
Yeah.
Maybe it took a little bit of time because I just clicked it right before I made the attack last time. Maybe it didn't quite.
Yeah, it didn't.
Maybe that made it be like, okay, we don't know what we're doing yet.
Yeah, it worked for
But
some
you're
reason
actually-
on that time.
Yeah, I see. It actually endured damage. Okay.
All right, so Ferris attacks it. It's still on fire. Ferris, stay in position.
Yeah, he's doing what he's told.
All right, I'm gonna
He's
roll.
a good boy.
I'm gonna roll random.
He's a good boy.
Roll random here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna roll a d10 and see who he attacks. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. He's going to double stomp the Templar.
Oh, my poor Templar buddy. Oh, phew.
All right. So you just see him, Learmay, just double stomp down. The Templar takes the first one and then just kind of glides out as the second one kind of falls down on top of him as you're running to get into position. The Templars are going to attack. I guess I can roll theirs. And the other one gets to attack.
Again, it's not recognizing mystical weapons because I saw you roll a 12 on the D12, and it's still
9, so
0
5,
damage.
5, yeah, 5 on that one, and wow, they rolled lots of damage too. 5, 8,
Trying to steal Ferris's fire.
and
Would say
right,
thunder, but it's not appropriate.
Yeah, they just pummel it. You just see both the Templars just hit it, and big pieces fall off. It staggers a little bit down to like one knee, and then just thrums back up, but it's just wavering there on the edge, just barely hanging on as the Templars. Lena, you're far south. You see Learmay kind of run up, trying to make it there in time. What does Lena do?
Lena will go up to the south.
She'll go where?
Going up.
Oh, just moving around this side? Okay.
Yes, on that side.
Okay. So you go running around the western rim of the sinkhole. Master Emilio, you're there with Bo as he throws his shield. Learmay goes running up, and probably the man next to you follows him. What does Master Emilio do?
Emilio is going to help the survivors.
Okay. You're going to go around and try to do medicus and moving the survivors.
Yeah, try to pull the survivor. The ones who are alive, just pull
Okay.
them.
Pull him away from the edge.
Yeah.
Okay. And we will go back to the guy in the cavern as he fights these. What does the bleeding do? You want,
1d4 per
another
round.
D4.
yeah, you want to roll that first just to see if. Oh.
Yeah.
You had a chance there to go. They attack in unison. The one that's bleeding, barely standing, and oh, that's terrible.
Still alive.
Yep. You're just like probably circling around this group as they attack you, the goy. Well, you're just hanging on by a thread. There's two left. They're hissing, and their scales are kind of shiny in the dark, and one above just tries to take you out. You're just hanging on to Goy.
Yeah. I'm a
By the
scrappy guy.
By the skin of your queen's spy, Queen's manor just won't go down. You're hanging on. What does the Goy do?
I'm a target a different one since
Okay.
he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, nice.
Wow. That was a good
Not
roll,
enough
though.
damage, no.
Sure. But it's bleeding.
It is.
You might make it out of this, the Goy. Hard to tell. What's he thinking in this moment all by himself?
And I get another 4 for the kill potion from last turn, right?
Oh, right.
rounds.
You get 4 more points.
He's thinking how he's glad he rolled a 4.
You get 4 more points and 1 corruption, right? You're hanging on. I didn't expect you to hang on this long, but you're hanging on. That's good. We go back to the top of the sinkhole. Master Emilio goes round and starts to, administer care to those that are still capable of living. Larish, you're standing outside, on the back end next to the Templars. They're still whispering prayers to Prios. What does Larish do?
Okay, so unlike most of my characters, like 90% of my Symbaroum characters hate the church. So Laris doesn't have a problem with the Church of Prios. Okay, so the rule for NPCs is when they hit 0, they're dead. I get that. But I've had GMs make exceptions for valued NPCs. So I've got an herbal cure that if I think will bring the guy that's dead, the brother that's dead, back to life, I'll use it on him. Otherwise, I'll just drag his body from the fray so it doesn't get more abused.
No, I'd let you do that. It has RP. It has RP play. These brothers.
Okay, well,
these
yeah,
Templar
I'll
brothers.
look at him. Right, and I'll pour it in his mouth, and I'll actually, if I can drag him a little bit away and then pour it down his mouth, I will. Because it's weird, like he couldn't be in the same. Although his buddy was able to step over his dead body, he can't be in the same hex as his buddy. So, I don't know if you'll let me move him out of that area just because.
Yeah, what I'll do is
can't
I'll move him over here, and before you do it, he would at least have to make 2 death saves. Let's see if he wasn't dead. Let's see if he is dead or not. Oh,
He's dead.
Wow. I got there about as fast as I could to administer the herbal cure, but
Right.
no.
I didn't think that would happen. I'm thinking, no, that's gonna be no. Yeah, you drag him out, and you probably, administer the herbal cure, and nothing happens. Laris, you realize that this Templar is said his last prayers. His eyes are open to the light of Prios, and if anyone's
Close his eyes.
right, anyone's gonna
It's gonna be
roll a
death.
20 on a death save. It's gonna be a Templar or Prios, and you realize one of the brothers is dead. One of the brothers looks back and sees what you're doing, and then looks hopeful for a minute. You could see his mouth moving, still saying his prayers, and when you look back up at him, he realizes that regardless of how much you tried, Laris, you just couldn't save his brother, and he just turns back towards the colossi. But it's a worthwhile endeavor.
Okay, so I guess I'll spend this turn basically collecting the guy's weapon and putting it in a respectful place. Being in armor, I'll move his, because I'm sure he's got crushed armor, so I'll move parts around to make it look like, basically I'm acting like a mortician at this point.
Yeah.
Just trying to make him look pretty.
After you realize you can't revive him, you
And then also realizing I can't do shit to the big colossi.
right. Bo, you're there in the south as your shield comes back to you. A little bit of, colossi on its edge. what do? You see Lear May trying to get there. The Templars are still battling.
I don't think retribution's going to help, so I'll just try to throw the shield again.
Okay. It's wavering, Bo. Like it's you
Ready.
can tell, yeah, it's kind of wavering back and forth. Probably one of its horns are broken.
That won't work.
No. It's probably moving, it's barely on its feet, and as you throw the shield, it just shifts unexpectedly because it's on its last legs, and the shield just kind of circles it and comes back to you.
Right, it's kind of unsteady.
Right.
At this point.
Lear May, you see Laris drag out one of the Templars, and he tries to use a herbal cure on him, and then he looks up, and you know right away that one of the Templar brothers are dead. What does Lear May do?
This is a travesty, and things are terrible, but we are moving in and engaging. This thing's not a person, so it doesn't get the beast law bonus, does it?
No.
No, it's not a cultural being.
Yeah, it's not a cultural being, technically.
At best, it's a beast. And I don't have that aspect of beast lore.
Did you leadership tag it?
Yeah, and that's already
Okay.
like if you roll and hit it, it will roll the
Oh.
leadership die already.
For Frick's sake.
You're just giving Ferris the chance to gain the glory of the killing blow, and he appreciates that.
Okay. That should have
Let's see.
been...
Is your weapon a mystic weapon?
Yeah.
Witchblade.
5, 9,
All right.
and 3, so 12 total, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, you miss at first, Lear May. Maybe the death of one of the Templars, takes you off your stride, and then the backswing takes it through the back of its legs as you're going through, and it's kind of teetering, turning, and it just kind of crashes. The Templars jump out of the way as it comes crashing down between them, and you do the killing blow, and it drops. Stone kind of shatters and goes everywhere, and you're just looking across of it at the two Templars whose mouths are still moving as they're still saying prayers to Prios. The man on the other side just kind of puts his hand on you and says, "Thank Prios, I didn't ever think that would happen." And you look around, everyone looks around, and the rim is clear. You hear Captain Marvello's voice, who is fighting around the other side, yelling for reinforcements, and he kind of looks over at down the edge, but doesn't see anything, and he starts yelling for people to bring wood to make barricades, and the battle at the top of the sinkhole ends. Glenna, as you're on that side of the sinkhole, and Lear May drops the colossi, and Captain Marvello, yells out for reinforcements. Would Lena do anything?
Lena will just observe around the area.
Okay. How about Master Emilio? You're still attending to the wounded?
Yeah, let's try to attend to the wounded.
Okay.
Bring him to take him out of harm's way.
All right. What I'm going to do is go to the Goy and see if he survives. The Goy, you have no idea that the battle up top is done. That's the bleeding damage, I guess.
That is.
Yeah, you see that this beast, crumples over, starts to try to crawl away, but then drops as the others attack you.
paper cuts. That's all they are.
Whoa! You always roll the best one on the ones you really need to do it. I won't
Yeah.
tell you. I don't want to tell you why that is, but those are always clutch right there.
Because
There's-
some of them are big time robust and others aren't.
right.
Mm,
So one just scratches you. They close in. You know, they're beasts at the moment, and they still got you outnumbered. So it's not like they're gonna run. The goy, you take a little bit of a scratch. You're still bleeding and deeply surrounded. What does the goy do?
Yeah, he fights for his life.
Oh, you knock that prone, or you take a second attack?
Oh, good question. I think I'll take a second attack.
All right.
Unfortunately, I don't get backstab on that one.
All right.
Oh, I guess it didn't matter.
Yeah, you take out a second one as they hiss and attack you. They got 3.
Yep. So how does the corruption work again?
It's one
per round.
per every round. Yes, sorry, Gene.
Yeah, no, it's
Right. So I'm at the threshold thing. So if I hit my threshold, then I have to do what again?
Just a roll, right?
you roll 1d4.
wait, you're at your corruption threshold?
Yeah,
So I'm currently at 5,
7.
5, and I got a threshold of 7.
Oh, you're not at your threshold
Oh.
yet. Right.
Well,
No,
here's the problem, though.
The problem is if I
Yeah.
take another potion.
Oh, right.
Right. The problem is, if you get past your threshold, the potion's going to work however many rounds. So if the potion works 3 more rounds than you need it to, you have permanent corruption roll every time you get a new temporary corruption. So you could take a busload of permanent corruption if you get 6 rounds of an elixir of life would give you 3d6 or 3d6 or 3d4 permanent corruption or whatever it is.
Yeah,
But it's only 1 per round, right?
You get 1
Um,
temporary
no.
corruption per round of the elixir.
Right.
Until you
Right.
hit your threshold.
yeah. When you hit
Yeah.
your threshold, you suffer a D4 permanent corruption. And then is it another D4 every time you take corruption?
Right after that.
Oh,
Every time past your threshold, every new additional
Take
corruption
1d4.
gives you more permanent corruption.
Man, this is a hard choice. Either I go down by hit points or I go down by corruption.
Hey, it's Symbaroum.
I know. And to be honest, I don't think Degoy would care about corruption. That's not his line of thinking.
If you get lucky, maybe you don't get any permanent corruption.
Yeah, we're gonna roll the dice. We're gonna
All
go
right.
with
There
another
you
hit.
go.
You're going to take elixir.
This, by the way, is why I always have at least 1 purple sap for every elixir I take.
Okay, so 1 round.
Huh? There you go.
Big
and
number.
4.
That's a good number.
So you get 4, and you take 1 corruption for that 4 this round. That's not a bad buy off, though. You don't hit your threshold quite yet.
Yeah, I'm close to it.
Right. Degoy, you strike out and kill this one and reach back, queen spy as you are, and suck down another healing potion, and they attack.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been the reverse rolls. 4 rounds at 1 hit point per
Right.
round. That would have sucked.
Right.
But is it every time you?
Every time, once you're past your threshold, each additional corruption gives you
roll.
another permanent roll, I believe.
Yeah.
As written, it's actually even worse. As it's literally written, once you're past your threshold with permanent corruption, you have to roll every time you have a new scene, which basically means you're going to turn into Abomination for good shortly after you get permanent corruption past your threshold, or up to your threshold.
Yeah, like in the book, it's just as you suffer permanent corruption when you bind, when you learn a power, or your total corruption is hits like when it reaches your corruption threshold.
I mean, it's possible
During a
I'm
scene.
wrong on the mechanic. It's not a mechanic I've seen ever, so I've never really like I've read it a couple times, but I didn't like study it as much because I've never had to do. I've never taken temporary corruption once I've had to take permanent corruption.
You want to roll that
Yeah.
bleeding before I forget?
So I'm reading it. It doesn't say like you have to do this every time. So, like, when your total corruption hits your threshold, you suffer a D4 permanent. Each time, like, you go over the threshold. But if you're already over the threshold,
Degoy and I are just going back and forth here. I'm assuming you're not wanting to move, so we're just rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not moving.
Yeah,
They're talking and we're just going on with the combat. It's a silent queen spy combat in the depths of this place. And somehow Degoy is still surviving.
yeah. I took the tactician ability recently, which doesn't do what you think it would do, but is still very good for me.
You may make it.
After I studied Degoy's fighting style a couple times, I'm gonna have a pointer on you for this.
Degoy, you're surviving round,
Yep.
just dancing around down in this cavern with these three things. I believe it is your attack.
Yeah.
Whoa. And roll your bleeding so I don't forget. You might get out of this.
I just might.
That would be a coup.
Oh, you know what? I just does bleed compound? I can't remember.
No,
Oh yeah, I
No.
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think
the
it does.
bloodletting compounds, but the bleed damage doesn't. There's a weapon quality in the APG called bloodletting.
Getting close.
You're holding on by a string. One more. That is crazy, Degoy. There you go. Your turn. Roll your bleeding. 1. Oh my goodness.
Is it safe to assume that we have like climbed down after?
No, like this is all like 6-second rounds. I mean, realistically, Degoy's down here by himself.
Yeah, we have no idea where he is.
You're talking about rounds of combat, and I think.
Oh no,
that-
I'm just thinking like in case he needs to start making death saving throws.
Right. Well,
For the time it takes us to find him.
if Degoy goes down, he gets eaten. Really. I'm gonna.
Oh,
ask,
fair
yeah.
enough.
I'm gonna ask a question. Do they flee? They are beasts, but
Yeah, but they've lost more than half their.
Right. and
Yeah,
and they could surely use that as food. So I'm gonna see if they go. I leave it up to. There it is. All right, Degoy, you're standing there as you're fighting back and forth, and one of them leans over and grabs the other in its mouth and starts to climb up the wall. And this one grabs the other one that's dead in its mouth and starts to climb up the wall. What does Degoy do as they?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna tag him.
You're gonna attack them. All right. Both of them are fully. Okay. You attack that one as it's trying to leave, and it, stops, and attacks you back. Stuck to you while you.
He's prone, by the way.
Oh, he is.
He's not necessarily prone. You can do another attack on him if you cared.
I thought you can't do
it's-
that on a reaction.
It's a reactive roll. Yeah.
Oh,
Let me roll quick and see if he gets up. Yep.
Dang it.
All right. It's stuck there with you, the goy. As you attack it, as the other one kind of leaves, and you're stuck dancing with it. Roll bleed 4. All right. And I think you get to attack, right?
Don't mess with a queen spy.
Bravo, Degoy.
congratulations! You managed to limp away like one of them managed to limp away.
You see it go up the thing. Degoy, you're in this cavern. There's 4 bodies of these things around you. Well, actually 3 bodies, because the other one grabbed one to take up into the cavern itself and eat. You don't hear anything but the dripping of water and probably your own breathing that you're alive. What would Degoy do at this point, battered and, hanging on?
Oh, I'm continuing on with the mission. I'm gonna follow those people north.
All right. Up top, as you all are looking around and you probably know it. Someone's going to tell you Degoy fell in the hole. What would the company do as Captain Marvello is given orders to set up barricades and drag out the dead?
We'll anchor a rope and head down.
Yeah, I think we would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
Marvello,
brought these.
Captain
these
Marvello
tier-
looks at you and says, "You cannot go down there without Mayor Nightpitcher's approval. We need to set up barricades and defend this
Captain,
area."
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but one of our team fell down the hole. You can pull the rope back up after we go down, but we really need to check on him. I mean, it's what we would do.
He looks down there and he says, "If they fell down that hole, they're dead. I see nothing
then-
living down there."
Marvello.
Then we'll
Do you
tie
see
the
a
rope
body?
off to his body.
Does anyone
and
have
bring-
persuade? Who has good persuade?
I have a good persuasive.
Well, we could use it.
None of us. It's
If Learmay is with you, you can roll persuade at +2. Learmay knows Marvello, although Marvello
Yeah.
doesn't really know Degoy, and he knows Bo, so maybe it'd be a
I'll look at
+3.
Captain. I'll be like, if you could go down and collect your man, even your man's body, wouldn't you? Come on,
Make a
man.
roll. Make a roll.
Have a heart.
Okay, so you all are gonna climb down via rope.
mhm.
All right.
We're gonna knot the rope quickly so that it's not just a rope burn slide down.
Yeah, I don't think you will need to make climb checks if you're using a rope. Whereas the Goy tried to climb down all by himself. Anyone need to take a break and get a drink? Go to the bathroom?
I'm all right.
Or
If no one else does, I'm good.
Okay.
No, I don't know how long that's gonna last. The bladder's getting full.
so you all start to climb down. Master Emilio, Ferris. Can Ferris climb? I guess he would come down last.
He can hold a rope.
He could hold the rope at top. Okay.
Does he burn
Well,
the
no,
rope?
meaning he can literally hold the rope and slide down the rope.
1, 2, 3. I'll make sure I got everyone. Lena, Master Emilio, Laris, and Bo.
Genie, is the scene over? Can we reset the?
Yep, the scene is over.
okay.
You can reset your corruption.
No, you get to suffer.
I don't have Learmay on the thing. Okay, there we
Lares
go.
looks at you looking kind of green, holds his purple sap, and goes, I feel like this is worth 10 valor, don't you?
All right, Degoy, you're in the cavern, and you're going to keep following it out. right? You're going to retrace their steps. So you go north for, probably quite some distance. You come up, after that battle, and you find that this tunnel, keeps leading. How far would you go?
I go all the way till I catch up to them again.
It's going to take hours. You're going to go hours. You're going to keep following them.
Oh yeah, because one or two things is happening. Either they're circling around to like attack somewhere else, or they're escaping, and I want to find their camp.
Okay. I mean, I think the Goy, as you're following them, they're moving pretty fast too, just as fast as you. It's not you won't really catch up to them. You will follow the signs of them going. Large group of people. You don't know how many, but definitely more than 20, 30, because there's so many footfalls that it just mars the ground. And this tunnel goes for a while.
Oh, that's fine, because in the Goy's mind, this is an army, right? This is an army. This could really hurt the kingdom in some form or fashion.
So I'm just going to say you keep following him, and we'll see what the group does, really. Master Emilio, Lear May, Laris, you reach the bottom of the sinkhole, and you are near the rubble. There's a mound of rubble all around you. You see that there's an exit to the north, and there's this like streams kind of coming through this huge kind of cavern. That rubble in the center is pieces of buildings and bodies and everything that's fallen in from the top. And then it's kind of like a flask, you have the sinkhole come down, and then the cavern, goes out from that central hole, like it's the neck of a flask, and the bottom part is that cavern. And just in the very center is this mound of debris and bodies, and both Ambrians and those malformed kind of barbarians. You see exits, there's ones to kind of southeast, directly east, over here, directly east, southwest, and kind of northwest, and then one that's north.
You said one south? What's this on the south?
And one south. And so you hit the bottom, and there's light shining down, and you kind of see this phosphorescent moss on the walls, and you also see like torches, which perhaps are unexpected. Some of them burning in certain, alcoves in the walls themselves. What do you do as you hit the bottom?
Do we know which way people went from our point of view?
No, I would not think so. The only one who saw them were the Goy, but you could, everyone could make a vigilant roll.
What is the ground made out of?
It's like dirt, like it's very very
it's
uneven, muddy. Like you have,
pure stone.
Yeah, you have water. There's some stone, but you have water, like
right,
going through.
I'm gonna look for boots, because none of these creatures we fought wore clothing of any kinds. And Goy, the only way we're gonna be able to ever follow him is if we see the boots. So I'm gonna look for boot prints and tell the team to do the same.
Okay.
So my vigilant is not great. So,
does the path shown with torches? Like, is there?
No, there's like torches in the edges of the
scattered.
Yeah, and so there's definitely light, a little bit more torch light through here in this north. I think would be reasonable. You just see a couple torches here on those western ones, and that's basically what you see. You do see more light from that northern part, and perhaps as Lena and Lear May are checking out that northern part, you see footsteps, or you see boot marks. You see a whole bunch of steps that kind of like mash down the mud and the dirt on the stone. but then you see distinct kind of footsteps over the top of them leading to the north.
Ferris is going to draw his sword, and it's a flaming sword, so it's a light source. He is also a light source, just the sword makes it more so.
Okay. So you go north then?
That's where we see boot prints, and
All right.
if the team thinks that's where to go, I think that's the way to go.
You come to this T intersection, and you look down either side. There's a lot more light there. There's a whole lot of torches, to the left and to the right. You see boot marks, though, kind of stop there for a moment, but then they keep going north.
Ferris will be in the second rank, so he can provide light, but that he doesn't step over the footprints that we need to follow. So whoever's good at following the footsteps should probably be in front of Ferris.
Yeah, Lear May's with you too, and his mask kind of lights up.
Oh, does he have a sun mask?
Yeah, he has a sun mask.
Those things are so cool.
And kind of beams out wherever he's looking. He looks down the hallway and sees kind of entrance and exit ways, perhaps down this way, and a little alcove here. But the boot steps just go north. I assume you follow them north.
Sure, we do.
Okay.
Yep.
You come to this cavern in the north, and you see like the bodies of three beasts on the ground. They're giant kind of lizards that are about 10 paces long. You see probably blood on the stones. You can't really tell. These kind of giant lizard-like beasts kind of have white greenish scale. They got slash marks through them. And obviously battle has happened here between these beasts and whoever fought with them. And that's what you find. There's a little bit of a pooling in that area, and then it kind of trickles off here to the west, and the water flow comes up from the north. You lose sight, really, of the boot tracks as you enter here. They're all over here on the southern part, but then you kind of lose them.
I would think that the only way we could lose them is if they went into the water to the north.
Yeah, you don't know if they went to the west or the north, but obviously whoever, whatever the boot tracks you're following, they could have just walked up the stream or walked through the water. But that's a reasonable guess that you lost them in that fashion.
Sorry if I missed the description. What's in these side room passageways?
You didn't go down there. You followed the boots. Do you go in those side rooms?
Lero, Sun Mask, is like peering around the corner. We are following DeGray's tracks, but he doesn't want to be jumped from behind.
Yeah. I mean, if you duck in there, Lear May, you find like living quarters. You find bedding and leftover clothes and pots that people use to pee in. It looks like where people slept and lived, or some sort of people, not necessarily Ambrians. It smells terrible. It smells awful. But it looks like quarters of some nature. And then the building to the east looks like storage. There's like molding mushrooms and some sort of, white-eyed tiny fish. It smells even worse in that room, Lear May, but it looks like leftover from habitation. Like these are rooms people slept in, large families, and then this was like food storage or whatever food storage. So when Lear May looks in there, he finds, oddly, that this was an inhabited space.
Well, that's unusual, but the smell of this place is enough to explain why they went to the service and tried to kill everyone. Do you want to get out?
And so, as you enter this kind of small pool room, what would the party do? Learmay kind of finds habitation, or tells everyone people were living down here, or these things actually were more than just beasts. What would the party do as they reach this pool room?
Well, I think it's very much a toss-up over which river we follow. There are walls
Yeah.
in the way. I couldn't get past.
We would have no idea, right?
Not really. You stop right where Lena's icon probably is, and you lose the boot tracks. You see battle here, right, kind of in this area, where
Right.
Ferris is. Obviously, battle is here. I don't
A
expect.
bunch of
Yeah. I don't expect you could tell it was actually Degoy.
there's a bunch
What
of dead
about
lizard
blood? Is
things.
there any blood tracks here? Maybe that went north.
I think you might see boot steps and blood. Degoy didn't do anything as he left, and I think if you go up that way, Bo, and investigate this kind of northern area, you probably see maybe one boot step here and trickle of blood along the edge of the stone.
Okay.
That's outside, what you would expect. If Bo walks up there and he walks outside the pool, and then he notices, oh, there's a footstep, there's some blood, there's some footstep going north.
Yeah, I would wave everybody on that.
Okay.
And continue.
So Degoy is following this group for hours. Would the company follow for hours?
We see occasional signs that Degoy passed for sure,
I think you see.
or do they disappear?
Do we see Degoy's blood all in this room? Do we see his blood at all?
When you see blood, I don't know if you know it's Degoy's blood. You see some blood. Bo finds some blood going this way. Out.
And is there a trail of blood?
There's probably a trail for a while. 15, 20 minutes if you go up this eastern passageway, but then it's going to end. Degoy, if you're thinking Degoy's bleeding, eventually that blood will end. If you follow that passage for 15, 20 minutes, the bleeding stops. Or the blood marks stop. It probably doesn't last that long. Laris, you continue following east?
My feeling is, as long as there's signs every so often to confirm that Degoy is still going, I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
Unless everybody else wants to stop, in which case I'm not going by myself.
Yeah, if we still are able to detect signs, we would keep going.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, I think as long as there isn't, until there's a dead body in front of us.
Yeah, like after a while, like once we're half an hour committed, I think at that point, yeah, it's like once we see the dead body, fine, then we're done. But until then,
what I think happens is, Degoy, you eventually exit like a rift in the ground, and there's trees falling over in this rift, and you hear the forest sounds, and you come out somewhere in Davokar. Degoy, you come out into Davokar proper. You've been probably traveling for 2 or 3 hours along these tunnels and following, and you have, it's just a single tunnel. There's no branches, and eventually it goes upward. Even if you're going in the dark, without Lirame's mask, you follow this sound, and light eventually comes to Goy, and you exit into Davokar, somewhere into Davokar. By this time, it's probably near dusk, give or take. Degoy, what would you do as you exit into the forest?
Well, as long as I can follow the large group of people, I will continue to do so, even in the dark.
Through Davokar?
Through Davokar.
Okay. So you
You know,
exit.
the goal is not Bo. You know, he's not a cartographer or anything like that.
You lost
So-
a lot of cunning with the
Yeah, and I did with the juice. Yeah.
with the juice.
All right, Degoy. So you exit into Davokar. You have no idea where you are. You've probably been moving along this tunnel, and you're just that sort of impulsive queen spy. Even when it's pitch black and you lose light, you just keep going. And luckily, there's only one way. There's not really much branch points until you start to see light, and you exit this rift into Davokar, and that tunnel exits, through stones. You kind of climb up out of this kind of stony area, this stony hill within the forest of Davokar, and it's easy to follow the tracks because there's a lot of them. And until it gets pitch black, really, Degoy, do you do anything as you follow them?
No, I'm hoping that at some point they're gonna like put up torchlight or something, and then I'll use that to follow them.
Okay. In the dark?
Yeah, in the dark, but I won't be doing any lighting, and I'll just be kind of like, making my way in the darkness as discreetly as possible.
Okay. So you exit the forest and start following the tracks into the darkness for a while as the sun sets, and you're able to follow because there's a lot of them, Degoy. You don't know how many, 30, 40, 45, it's hard to tell, but they leave a swash of broken leaves and that sort of thing, which are really easy to follow. And you probably eventually see the tinkling of light when you're near exhaustion. You don't know what time it is. You don't know how far in Davokar you are. It's completely black, and you see, firelight goes a really long way, and you just see, maybe you're looking down a ridge and you see just a little bit of twinkling light through the trees, and you start moving in that direction. The rest of the company, you follow, but you have light. You have Lero's mask and the flaming servant, and you follow for hours. Really? You exit probably Davokar into the dark. Master Emilio, Lirame, Bo, Laris, you exit this rift, and it's probably getting dark enough where, Lirame's mask just beams off the trees as you realize you've exited into Davokar proper. It's probably well into night, 1 or 2 hours into darkness. What would you do as a company as you exit into Davokar, into the darkness?
Okay, how dark is it when we get out?
Huh?
How dark is it?
Yeah, you figure it's winter, right? And it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. So you're in the middle of Davokar in winter, and it's dark. Winter dark.
Could we see footprints? Is there snow? Could we see footprints?
Yeah, it's not snowing at the moment. There is a light snow, but you see the passage just like Liam, Degoy would, in the light of Lirame's mask. You can see the passage of a large group of people. You lose the boot prints eventually in that mass because Degoy is following that. But you see passage of many people. Master Emilio, it's probably more than 20 or 30. They move as a pretty close group or a line, and you can tell by just the trail itself that it's a very large group of people in the darkness, as Lirme maybe is shining his mask and the flaming servant is providing a little bit of light.
Anybody have a tent?
Well, set up camp.
Set up camp right there at the edge.
Beyond the
Awesome.
basic camping supplies everyone starts with, that's
Yeah, you guys were fighting at the edge of the thing in the city. You jump down to find the Goy. I really don't see you have brought like food and camping equipment.
Right.
Like,
Well, and Laris has never gone outside to do adventuring, so he doesn't even have it.
right. I see
Does
you
anyone
guys
have bushcraft?
going on a lark, right? You're out in the middle of Davokar now with nothing.
I haven't even bought my shovel yet. What the
yeah.
F?
Lero is just looking around like, I'm gonna break his nose when we see him next.
Okay, so given the circumstances, probably the best shelter we're gonna find is right where the tunnel leaves to the outdoors, but inside the tunnel, like a little bit.
Yeah, that's
So,
reasonable. But
Why
plus,
don't we
using
just
it
set up
as a
camp
cave.
there?
you're more likely to be hidden even if you start a fire from the denizens of Davokar in that tunnel, rather than camping out in the open like the Goy. So you're gonna camp there and hopefully pick up the Goy's trail in morning.
Oh, sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
The Goy, you see that twinkling of light. It's dark. You've been following for hours. It's probably closer to midnight or 1 o'clock. As you see that twinkling light, what would you do?
Oh, I keep following.
Okay. You're going to follow up to see what you can find?
Yep.
All right. Roll a discreet at -2. Okay. So you creep up. You are within the forest itself. Like, you're creeping around lower brushes and big trees. There's no real meadow. And then you see a figure, like, walk between trees, and you follow it for a little bit with your eyes, and you realize it's kind of making a circuit. And then maybe 30, 35 heartbeats, and another one comes from the same direction. And you realize that you're looking into this fairly large camp that have posted guards, and there's like one small central fire, and there's just forms laid out on the ground, obviously sleeping. You hear some noise, really, but not a lot, and you're kind of tucked in there. You make a small count, but it's really hard because it's dark, and you probably stop counting somewhere around 20, 25, at least on this side of the small fire. That's just low enough, really, to provide some warmth to those who are closest to it. But there's not many fires all over. Most of them, just are lumps in the darkness, but there's a whole lot of them. What does the Goy do?
Are these misshapen people?
You
The ones that
probably,
are walking around?
yeah, you probably could tell that the way they walk, the way they're built, they have a contour and a silhouette that's not normal.
Okay. So as one passes, I'm gonna creep up behind it, throw the garrote around it, and drag it into the bushes.
All right. Let me go to the Davokar map instead. Or put you on
I don't know
there.
if this plan's gonna work, but
I mean, you're killing an abomination, so either way you get the like the little companion message. Lero approves of this action.
I put you somewhere in Davokar, Degoy, as one of the large guards kind of walk by. Why don't you make a discreet at +3?
Just a regular discreet.
No, a discreet. Yeah, just make a discreet at +3. I'm seeing if it recognizes you're there as you decide to jump it in ambush.
Okay.
Otherwise, it sees you. It's vigilant, isn't that great? Lucky you.
I know, right?
You're hunkered down by a tree, Degoy. Bloody, cold, barely making it. You've traveled all night following them because, damn it, you're a queen spy. And this huge form kind of walks by you. You ambush it. You have to make a roll for that, I think.
I do. Oh, nice.
Wow. All right. So you garrote it and are holding on. It can only make a strength check against you to get out. Strong versus strong, or strong versus...
Hold on a second, let me pull it up. So it cannot act until I abort it, and I just maintain it with the cunning.
You just maintain it with the cunning. Okay. So roll your cunning then as you hold it. So it takes another round of damage then?
Right. Ah, crap for damage.
You're struggling there, with it. It's kicking out, hitting trees, trying to roll you over. Noise is being made in the middle of the night in this quiet, sleeping camp. I'm going to see if the other guards hear you. All right, Degoy, they don't hear you yet. You make your other... Now, does it take damage, right? It takes one.
Yeah, it took one.
So you make your cunning roll again.
All right, so then it gets aborted.
And we just go straight to
Combat.
All right. It rips it out. You try to hold it. It's rolling around on the ground, and it grabs it and throws it out. And then you hear this kind of guttural scream, give or take, and forms start to rise up, as the alarm is raised, and you enter combat with it, Degoy. It immediately tries to swipe at you with its arms and these long kind of talons, and just catches you a little bit. You kind of see shapes moving through the trees at you as you're in combat with it. What does Degoy do?
All right, I don't feel like fighting this one up close and personal. So, and then, not to mention, there's a whole camp of these things. So I'm going to disengage from him.
Right.
So you can make that attack.
Okay. You're going to run.
I don't want to call it running. I want to call it retreating.
Retreating, a tactical retreat.
Braves are raw, been brave.
Oh, he
carried
got me.
away.
Oh, that's right. This one ignores armor. Oh, I forgot about that.
No, you only rolled one armor, Dagoy. Your armor was a 1 out of 1d8.
Oh, I thought I rolled a 1 for my defense.
No, you rolled a 1 for your armor. You failed your defense, and then it hit you for 8, but then you rolled armor, and you only rolled a 1 for your armor. That's why it took you out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying.
You-
This one ignores armor anyway, so I wouldn't have gotten an armor roll.
Yeah, I didn't ignore armor. I let you have an armor with it.
Oh, okay.
It's just that you were
Huh?
unlucky. He takes you
Yes.
out, the Goy. And the group is camping. The Goy is
Bleeding out.
the Goy is somewhere in the forest where they know. And we will end it there.
Oh, okay.
Just
I really wanted
Lero
to.
muttering as he goes to sleep. God, I'm going to kill the Goy when I see him. Taking us back to get Davokar again.
Right?
So the plan was to like knock him out and then to like dress up as him and to get into the camp. That
Right,
obviously
so-
didn't work.
All by your lonesome.
Yeah, the group has no idea where he
What?
is.
I'll just
they
invade.
eat the Goy? I'm asking
No.
do they eat the Goy? I'm gonna make it unsure. All right, the Goy. I just checked. Hopefully I had fun. I know it was kind of a long combat.
Yes.
And
yes.
I had no idea what the Goy was going to do. So you're off
I
on
mean,
The
this.
Goy has no idea
so-
what the Goy is doing.
So you're off all of June, all of July.
Not next week, but the week after.
Oh, we're on for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I'll be gone till the first week of August while I move my parents.
Okay,
And-
sounds good.
You're gonna eat me? Is that what happened, Gene?
No, you didn't get eaten, the Goy.
Oh, okay.
So you might still be alive. We have to see what your death saves are.
figure that out next time.
Right. Or you could just roll death save, see if you survive. I have
Well,
to ask. Or ask if they're going to keep you alive. They may keep you alive. Do they?
Just 10 hours of death saves until he bleeds out.
They keep him
Right.
alive for torture.
Oh, they don't torture me. Is there an
Torture.
ability to resist torture?
I mean, Dagoy, you've missed a rather alarming prospect. Something made these misbegotten.
Right.
Yeah, but the Goy doesn't know that kind of stuff, right? All he sees is an army marching around and somebody leading it, whatever that winged creature is. And he's like, we got to keep track of this thing, figure out what's going on. That's all he knows. To me, these are just mutants.
Yeah, Dagoy, you might survive this. I asked if they would want to torture you for information, and the answer was yes. And so you're not quite dead yet. You probably won't survive, but you're not quite dead.
Huh, that's weird. I still have 1 hit point left.
Well, I put that one on you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I put that one on you just to let you
Just
know
to keep
you were
me
alive.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Well, have a great week, everyone.
It was fun.
Thank you,
Gene.
Jim.
too.
Have a good
Yep.
night. Bye
All right. See you.
Thanks,
See you
Gene.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.